off of your, I think it's coming off of your window that side, yeah. Hey everybody, I'm David.
I'm Brenda.
We're from OutsideOurBubble.com, and we're traveling down I-10 West today. Beautiful drive day, and everything is going pretty good. Brenda is our pilot, as you can see today, and we're from, as I am lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Just making sure everything is good here. Just a reminder, a few things real quick. You are traveling along today in a Tiffin Allegro bus, model 45LP. It's a 2014 version. We are 42,000 pounds loaded for travel. We are 45 feet long. We are pulling a Jeep Grand Cherokee behind us, making us a total length of 64 feet. And we average about 7.5 miles per gallon. Oh, we're 13 feet tall also. We are traveling today. Our final destination is Eagle View RV Resort, which is in Fort McDowell, Arizona. And we're traveling down I-10 westbound, currently at 70 miles per hour. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take in a quick tour of our bus as it's closed up for travel, so you can see what it looks like back there.
Well, David's going to, I'm not.
Yeah. And then we're going to put the camera back there and turn it around and show you the front view as we're driving down the road, even though there is a live front view all the time that you can see 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as we have data. That front view camera on OutsideOurBubble.com is always live. As you can see, Brenda is our pilot for today.
Hi.
We just left Rusty's RV Ranch about an hour ago. We got out early because there's no data down there, and got on the road so we could be sure we were on the road and had data when we got to the start time of our show today. And we have approximately 3 hours remaining in our travel time today to our destination.
It's not a long day.
No. We will be making a stop, however, in 138 miles to a Flying J, so just over 2 hours. We'll be stopping to get fuel and then continuing on to our final destination. We'll take some of your questions along the way in the chat box. Hopefully we'll see your question when you're still online watching us. And other than that, let's go on a quick tour, shall we?
Have fun.
Thanks. Just making sure I'm on the right audio, which I am. And here we go. There's Brenda. This is the cockpit, as you can see. Well, maybe not. That's what our dashboard looks like. Over here is our GPS, and down below there is our tire pressure monitoring system. And back here is our coach. This is what it looks like when we're traveling down the road. It is usable. We can lay on the couch, we can watch TV, we can do whatever. Obviously not the driver, or as we call them, the pilot. This is my coffee machine. This is a Jura Micro 9, and it is Velcroed down. I always get that question of how it stays in place. This is nothing more than a kitchen floor mat when we're stopped. It's one of those wellness mats. It's just up here because we can't close in the slide with that on the ground. Our kitchen table slides in and out, as you can see, for travel. And then over here this was Brenda's great idea. When we travel, she uses a beach towel for our bottles to go into, and she makes little nooks to put the bottles in so they don't clang around when we're traveling. Also, our knife block here, always make sure the knives are pointing backwards, because if you ever have an accident or anything like that, you don't want these to come flying out at you. That would not be a good idea. In fact, I don't like taking them out when we're traveling. That was a dumb idea. Now remember, in saying that, we're traveling at 70 miles an hour right now down the road, which means I'm moving at 70 miles an hour. If something happens and she slams those brakes on, guess what? I'm going flying forward because I have no way to stop myself from doing so. So it is a risk when you walk around inside of a motor coach, that is for sure. However, it is done all the time. and you just have to understand it's an inherent risk you are taking when you do so. With that said, our refrigerator is a full-size residential fridge. We use a pull tab to tie it down so the doors don't fly open on a turn with G-force. This is our powder room that we use when we're traveling. And this is what you guys look like to us. This is you, this is me, that's you, me, you, me, you. Anyways, that's what you guys look like. It's a little Mevo camera, M-E-V-O plus camera that's made just for streaming. This is our bedroom, all closed up. Normally these slides go out left and right, which makes it much, much, much bigger. And then all the way in the back is our bathroom, our master bath. It has 2 sinks back there. And then on the other side is the bathroom, the bath and the shower, or the toilet and the shower back there. And then all the way in the back is a walk-in closet with a washer and dryer back there also. So we'll bring you back up to the front now. And I'll grab the computer and see what some of you guys have to say. Here we are, love. Okay, I'm gonna put you up
good.
here.
I missed you. Going through Wilcox, Arizona right now.
Okay, I'm gonna,
small little town.
I'm going to switch the audio over to USB audio. Switching now. Switched. And we'll see what we got going on real quick here before I turn the camera around. We'll see if we can answer if anybody has any quick questions. If not, then I will spin that camera around and let's see what we got going on. I'm going to reload my page here real quick.
It's a pretty bridge, isn't that, David?
Huh?
Look at the
Oh
pretty
yeah,
bridge.
look at that.
Some really
Okay,
nice
we are
murals on
looking
the
good
bridges
here. And let me back up here real quick, see what's going on. Hershey Motorhomes is online. Hello. Ryan's mom is online. Hello. It looks like Jones RV Adventures is listening to us, not watching, as they're driving to Needles, California currently. Hello to Joanne's RV Adventures. And Larry, hello to you. Getting all these hellos. Martin is checking in, and Daniel, and Kevin Altero. Yeah, Brenda's driving. Gives you a yay because you're driving. That's a great thing, by the way. We believe truly that when we first started RVing back in 2008, one of the rules was, not a rule, but one of the things we discussed before we did this was we both had to be able to drive the rig. And as you can see, Brenda is very comfortable driving it, just like she would a car for the most part. Have anything to say about that, dear?
No, I was just going to say it's important because, like if one of you is sick with the flu or something like that, then the other one can drive. You're not going to be stuck somewhere until you get over your illness or,
Yeah,
God forbid, you break a leg or something worse.
Well, even case in point, our last live drive, I started getting really bad stomach cramps.
David was driving at the time.
I was driving, bad intestinal cramps, I should say, or something. Thank you for your well wishes. I'm doing much better, as you can tell. Got a lot of people who were sending us messages of, hope I'm feeling better, and I am. So thank you for all of that. Got over it, but the point being is, when that started happening, it was pretty painful, and so I needed to pull over right away. So we took the first opportunity to get off at the first exit that was also an entrance. Very important, because sometimes you get off an exit, there's no entrance back on the expressway.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure if you're getting off at an exit like that it does allow you to get right back on. So Brenda quickly looked it up on her phone. We pulled off, we changed driving positions, and Brenda started to drive. If not, I would have pulled over, and that would have been that. We would have been parked there until I got better. So it's very important for both of you to be able to drive the rig and also know how to set up and tear down the rig for travel.
Yes, and hook up the car and all that good stuff.
Oh, Marcelo is on. Hello from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hello, good to hear from you as always, Marcelo. Marcelo, I think, has been almost on every one of our trips with us.
Oh, what did he say to call him?
Oh, Daniel?
No.
No?
Was it Mark or Marco?
I told you I would not know. I would not remember. I do apologize, Marcelo.
Mac.
Mac?
It was Mac.
Mac. Red Jaguar is checking in. Yes, I do agree that it's that Tiffin stopped building the 45 LP. Hopefully Bob will listen and bring it back. I would love to see this coach reincarnated in some form. We would buy one in a heartbeat, and we would actually help Tiffin design it if they would accept our input.
You okay?
Yeah, I was just waving at an RV we went by.
Oh.
So yeah, we're definitely hoping that they may revive it for late 19, early 20. Happy December to you also, Bob.
It's hard to believe it's December already.
Yeah, December 1st today. Louis Martin says bonjour. David and Brenda, hello. Howdy, Sally. Everybody. Now that I'm saying hello to everybody, everybody's saying hello so I can call their name out. Lucy, and so we're just giving shout outs real quick here. North Wales checking in. That's Ossian, O-S-I-N. Ossian from.
Was that Sally Bosch? She's the one that we were talking about the Gothic brew wine.
Oh, this is somebody from North Wales, which is pretty amazing that we have so many
That's
followers
Ossian, yeah.
from North Wales. Let's see here. 55 degrees north is checking in. Dave at 55 degrees north, which is in northeast England. Amazing. Again, our overseas watchers. It's just amazing. And thank you for checking in with us. That is just kind of really cool to have so many people.
Yeah.
Daz says, David and Brenda, I coined the phrase Ubers. Talks amongst yourselves. You're outside our Bellbook camera. Doesn't last 3 minutes. Has to be refreshed every 30 seconds. Well, I don't know if they changed that or not. Daz, that stream on the front cameras is provided by Micro 7. And it's not a YouTube stream or anything like that, so I have no control over how long it streams. The good news is when we're parked somewhere, you're not looking at it for hours anyways.
And not much changes when we're parked.
Yeah, when we're parked, you just check in usually. So usually it's not a bad thing. We'll be turning the camera back around though. We're coming into some mountain regions, which are pretty nice. Hello, Art from Colorado, and we got a number of people all over the place. Hershey Motorhome said, Alexa, turn off cleaning mode. There we go. We have these followers that know our routine, it seems. I just told my lights basically to turn off in the coach. The stay at Rusty's was great, Larry. We got to see some friends of ours, and long overdue. I missed my friend Michael, and so we got to hang out a little bit, not as much as we expected. We arrived a few days late for one. We didn't get to spend as much time together as we would have hoped, but we did do some geeky things together, like singing manam manam dun dun na na manam manam dun 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 manam manam dun dun na na. That goes out to you, Michael. We literally were sitting there. Michael was doing some programming. I was next to him doing the testing at the same time. Brenda was behind us on the couch, and Michael and I started going.
I was that close to recording it.
Started doing that. It was just kind of really funny. And then I realized Brenda was behind us, and I said, I hope you did not record that.
I was so close. They stopped singing before I could get it up on my phone.
This is the geeky things. But yeah, the limited stay, but a very nice stay. Thank you for asking, Larry.
It's a beautiful place if you ever want to get away from it all. And by that, I mean the closest Walmart and grocery store is an hour away in Douglas. So certainly come with your refrigerator stocked and everything. But you're between two mountain ranges. One's in Arizona, one's in New Mexico, and it's just beautiful. You can go up into the mountains. There's lots of hiking in the area. Horizon to horizon, stars at night, which is beautiful because it's one of the darkest areas in the U.S. and they have a low light ordinance. A lot of astronomy out there.
Hello, Kevin from San Diego and Moon from Iowa. Red Jaguar, if we got another coach, would we get another paint job? Yes, we would definitely have to make the paint our own color scheme.
Yeah.
Or differently than any other coach, because you know you pay a lot of money for these things, and I want to be different. I don't ever want to park next to myself.
Yeah.
Hello, Bob from Val, Arizona. Yes, it has whisper mode. I do know that, Kevin, the Amazon girl, because I've actually freaked out Brenda with that.
Yeah.
Brenda whispered to it when I had turned it on without telling Brenda, and she whispered to it to set an alarm, and then it whispered back to her, and it freaked her out. Sally is checking in. Sally says, David, let Brenda know that Thunderbird came out with a brandy, is a hard brew coffee liqueur in it.
Oh. Sally's the one whose husband is a distributor or works for the Apothic Wines.
Oh, okay.
So she's the one that told us about the Apothic Brew, or we were chatting about it. We still have a few left. It'll be interesting to see if I can find it. They had it at the Kroger's in Texas. I wonder if they have it at the Kroger's here in Arizona. It'll be interesting.
But we'll definitely look for Thunderbird. It's called Thunderbird, I guess, is the brand, and they have a brandy. That's a coffee liqueur.
Interesting.
Larry, yeah, Rusty's is a great place. It's out in the middle of nowhere, like we mentioned, literally. So in order to get data service out there, they do have internet there, which is good, but it's very limited because it's a DSL service, so you get what you get. Just be aware of that.
You're not going to be able to stream or anything like that.
Yeah, I had data. Our Verizon worked out there with our WeBoost system only. If I didn't have the WeBoost, we wouldn't have Verizon.
Yeah. And if you tow a long trailer or something, all of her sites are a good 80 to 100 feet long. So no issue at all if you're a big rig towing a long trailer.
Mr. Biggie says, Joe and Victoria here. That's, I guess, their names. Hello, Joe and Victoria. Just got back from the Keys in Florida. Thought about you both when we passed a few RV parks. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we've been down there. We stayed at Blue Water Key, which was an RV resort there. It's a beautiful area, but the funny thing was, we didn't realize it, but it was off season. It was like April, I think, when we were there, off season, and it was still like $100 a night.
Yeah, they're very expensive to stay in the Keys, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Now I got that song stuck in my head, dear.
Sorry, dear.
Ah.
Water consumption and water usage while camped out without city. Yeah, Marcelo, basically, you can only stay as long as you can stay that you have fresh water, obviously. And so in order to stay the longest possible out in the desert, like when we do Uberfest in January, what we do is we empty our black and gray tanks completely empty, and we fill our fresh water tank until the overflow kicks in and water is actually coming out the overflow to make sure we have the maximum amount of fresh water. And then we also bring bottled water with us for drinking water. And the reason we do that is because if you're drinking bottled water, you're not drinking your fresh water out of the tank, and you're going to need that fresh water for showers and for cooking and other things, so like flushing the toilet. Yeah. So you want to conserve that as much as possible. And then basically for us, this is an all-electric coach. We run our generators twice a day, a couple hours in the morning and about 2.5 hours at night. And it's all it takes for us to stay fully charged and running. Obviously, we can't run our we can't run our air conditioners or anything without running the generator. My friend Michael can, however, because he put in a really cool battery pack system that he put in. Any case, that's a whole nother story. But the good news is
you don't really want to open your windows either, because you will have just a layer of all the dust and the sand and everything all over everything.
Yeah, when we're out at Uberfest, we don't open our windows because when the wind comes up, you'll be dusted. That's for sure. Just a reminder that we're only as good as our data service allows us to be out here. So if we have poor cell phone service, we will have poor data service. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around right now because we're coming into I think that's our rock area up there, love.
The rock area.
Rock.
That's
And
what we
it's a
call
rest
it.
stop area that is one of our favorite rest stops. No, we're not stopping, but it's really beautiful to see. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the computer down here and spin the camera around so you guys can see us coming through Rockville, what we call Rockville. So just bear with me a second, guys. Hi. Okay, that's a beautiful sky day out there today, as you can see. And that mountain to your right side, that mountain over there, that's where I believe the rest stop is going to be. It looks like it, at least.
If not, you'll see it at some
If not,
point.
you'll see it at some point, yeah. So welcome to I-10. And
I-10 westbound in Arizona, just west of Wilcox. That's where we just went through. Small town, just 2 or 3 exits long.
Marcelo, getting back to camping out, yeah, you only take showers every couple days or so, and you take what they call Navy showers, which are turn the water on, get wet, turn the water off, soap up, turn the water on, rinse off, turn the water off, and then usually your spouse or a significant other will go and take a shower right directly after you, because you don't want to waste the hot water because when you first turn it on, it takes time for the hot water to come up. Through the pipes, and so you collect that water into a bucket so you can use it for other things. At least we do, and that's only if you want to go extreme, go as long as you possibly can.
We've done 2 weeks at a time, and we could have gone actually a little bit longer, but I think that was our personal limit as far as dry camping. For us was 2 weeks, but our coach could have gone a little bit longer.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. Yep, we'll see you in Quartzsite. Red Jaguar says, tell Brenda Mary bought me the coffee maker as a Christmas gift.
Oh, nice.
He's not supposed to know about it, though.
Uh-oh.
His daughter slipped and told him. Oops.
Well, she's going to know now if she
If
watches
she reads this, or watches this, that's right. No, there's no way to take the Jeep into town to fill up the fresh water tanks. No, that wouldn't. Yeah, this is the rest stop. I was right, babe. Okay, guys, listen. Hey, coming up here, you should see we're coming up to a rest stop area. I do believe this is it. Yep.
This is it.
And it's a really cool. It's giant boulders on top of boulders on top of boulders, and it's really cool to look at. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera slightly toward the right side of the rig so you'll be able to see it better. So I am doing this on purpose, just so you know. I did turn it so you can see it. Oh, he lost the tire just.
Yep.
So it's really cool. So anyways, I turned the camera on purpose. Don't yell at me that the camera's turned. Thank you. So anyways, now we're coming up to it. Oh, please don't be on the side of this truck when we go through here. And I would move, if you could move over, that would give a better view. Anyways, this is a gorgeous rest stop. This is one of our favorite ones, and we do stop here on occasion. And because
it's usually pretty busy though, because it is beautiful.
Very beautiful, but it is rock on top of rock, boulder sitting and teetering on boulders. And it is just a gorgeous rest area. I mean, look at that. This is why we love traveling west. Views like this. It is just gorgeous. And this is on each side of the highway. But it is just a gorgeous view. Semi coming on.
Yeah.
It is just, as you can see, I'm just going to let you take in that look and that beauty of this area. It's just a beautiful place to be. Brenda's giving the emotion, honey, you're babbling. And she's
Yes.
right, I am babbling. Wow. Once again, Brenda is our pilot today. We are currently traveling at 70 miles per hour on I-10, going through a gorgeous area in Arizona.
This is why we call it rock, rock, rock.
Okay, so what is that? What movie is that from? Rock, rock, rock. I'm going to go ahead and reorient. Well, I'm going to wait until we get around the corner up here.
Yes, please.
I will. I'm going to reorient the camera forward again after we get around the bend up here. So I only turned it so you can see that rest stop, as you know. Look at the rocks, though, just teetering. Like, it's like, how do they get there just perfect like that? It's amazing. It's like somebody from Walt Disney sculpted this area. Mike, how did we get the Amazon lady to work with the lights? It's a product called Coach Proxy. Coach
That's what
Proxy.
we call it as Amazon lady, so she doesn't constantly turn on.
Yeah, it's called Coach Proxy, and it's only made for 2015 or newer Tiffins. It's a product that my friend Michael and I developed. Michael was the main coder. I was the thought guy and processing and testing and kicking his butt to get it done guy. And then we handed over the company to somebody else to operate, we sold the company. So it's called Coach Proxy, and that's how, and that can tie into the unit. As long as you have internet, you'll be able to use it that way. Okay. Oh yeah, the fan is reflecting in the window. That fan that you see there. That is the fan I put on the dashboard to cool the Mevo camera down. The Mevo camera can run quite hot, and it will shut itself down if it overheats. So I put a fan on the dashboard that's sitting there just to cool the camera down. So I'm going to go ahead and just re-straighten the camera up some so it's pointing frontwards again.
Oh, look at how close that box truck is to that truck.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Do you even see that truck in front of him?
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what Brenda's referring to is this box truck right here. On our right, there's a car right in front of him, a truck, and this box truck is right on. Oh my gosh, he's break. Oh my, watch
David,
this.
can you please get in
Yep,
your seat?
yep.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, why isn't this guy going around him?
I have no idea.
I mean, obviously he shouldn't. Wow, look how close he is.
I'm going to get around him though.
Blow by him.
'Cause I do not
Wow,
like that.
how ridiculous is that? You kidding me? What are you doing? That's just ridiculous. That's bad driving.
That's an accident just waiting to happen when he could have very easily gone around him.
Amazing views out in front of us now. We're coming downhill off the mountain range, and it's all valley in front of us with another whole mountain range out in the distance. I'm not sure how much of that you guys can see or not see, but it really is a gorgeous, gorgeous travel day today.
Yeah, and I haven't hit any wind yet.
Oh, I think you have. See if I can move the fan and still be able to cool it at a longer distance so it doesn't reflect as much in the window. But what a gorgeous view we have today. Brenda is our pilot today. If you're curious on exactly where we're located, if you go to outsideurbubble.com, the website is right there on the screen. There's a forward-looking camera. You can click on Live View. And below that image is a GPS tracker showing you exactly where we are. And if you click on the little image of our motor coach, it'll bring you up telemetry information showing you our speed, our direction, our altitude, etc. It's kind of cool. Just a reminder, we're only as good as our data allows us to be. So out in these wide open areas out here, if we have poor cell phone service, then we can't do anything about that. We've done everything we could to try to get the service to be as good as it could be. In the description of the video, you will see the gear that we are using to make this all possible. The Mevo camera is our main display, and then we have a WeBoost RV system that is an amplifier. There's actually three 4G antennas up on the roof that we're running. Two antennas are going to AT&T. One antenna goes to a Verizon jetpack. One antenna goes to an AT&T jetpack. The third antenna goes to the WeBoost system for then boosting the jetpacks internally. Freedom Baron says, Brenda, you are driving so smoothly that I will hire you to fly our Boeing 777. Man, the views are they just go on forever out here. Should have done a time lapse today. The clouds would have been really cool. Seeing the clouds, go through.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. Now we're going downhill. All you see is valley in front of us, so that is just such a vast, vast amount of land that's just wide open. Okay, that truck is going too fast for pulling a fifth wheel.
It's going downhill.
He's going way too fast for that.
Yeah.
We are 102 miles from our fuel stop that we'll be taking. And we are 2 hours and 33 minutes to our destination. Brenda's going to be our pilot all day today. She has to drive because I haven't been feeling as wonderful lately. I sound good today. Unlike the other day, I lost my voice after driving our 2 days. I lost my voice from talking.
Yes, you did. Gonna be going through Benson, Arizona. Next 3 exits.
Somebody,
Don't blink.
Ivona or ENO Vienna, Verona. I am sorry. I'm just destroying your names. Anyways, they're watching us from Finland.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
We have a couple people from Finland that watch us.
It's 51 degrees currently, Freedom Baron. Currently where we are, it's 51 degrees out.
Fahrenheit. We use Fahrenheit here. For all of you metric people. Celsius people.
Yeah, Larry, we timed it perfectly weather-wise for our travels. Sometimes we luck out. Sometimes we actually, if we know we're going to have a bad drive day or something, we'll actually put off and stay longer at a place before we drive. That's the nice thing about living, with your plans made in jello, and you make them very flexible. So yeah, we had the storms come through the other night, and so now we have just perfect weather for driving today.
And actually tomorrow looks like it's going to be some wind and everything, so today was the perfect day.
Kevin is asking, I do have a question. I really want to do an enclosed car trailer for a number of reasons. My understanding is most RV parks have storage areas to store them in. Is that true? I don't know if it's most. It's some. You either have to keep it connected or you have to park it somewhere. You will limit yourself to some degree on where you'll be able to stay if you're pulling a full-size trailer behind you, especially on a large rig.
And especially if you plan on going to like the Northeast.
Yes.
The Northeast, it's hard enough to find big rig campgrounds, let alone ones that can accommodate a longer trailer.
Anthony, no. I never thought about adding a workstation on the passenger seat to have in front of me. There's a number of aftermarket things, and there is a tray that pulls out that where my feet were. If you saw where my feet were sitting on the dashboard, there's actually a desk that pulls out right there, but it's just not usable. But there are options that I could add to give me a table for the passenger seat. We just don't see any reason to do so.
Yeah.
We would just find it getting in the way.
It did say rough road next 2 miles.
Yeah. Augusta, I bet it is beautiful where you are. Home run, hello. The road conditions are, well, right now they've just gotten worse. They were very good, but for a drive day, it couldn't ask for. It's a really good drive day today. Beautiful clouds. Roads are, for the most part, as we go over a bump, but for the most part, I-10 is a pretty good road to travel on. And as you can see, it's about to smooth out up here. So yeah, it's a good travel day today. Hey Pete and Karen, yep, see you at Uberfest. Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Mark, as far as a maximum tow speed for our Jeep, there probably is a maximum tow speed. I know you said your Ford Taurus and has a maximum flat tow speed of 65 miles per hour. Is there one for our Jeep? There probably is, and I'm going to guess it's around the same.
Here's a dip.
Never really concerned us, quite literally, to go 70 miles an hour with our tow vehicle. We've had, not advocating to break the rules of your manufacturer, mind you, but we have never had an issue for us personally going 70 miles per hour. Hi RJ in California. So Marcelo did change his channel name to be Mac Marcelo Ray. Okay, Mac. Yeah, Mac, you're right. It's easier to say Mac than your Marcelo name for us, as he puts it, you English-speaking dudes. How old are you, Mac? I only ask because the term used is dudes. Uberfest starts on, what is it, 17th?
I believe so.
Uberfest starts on Thursday the 17th. January. Thursday. Yeah, January 17th, which is a Thursday, which is arrival day. And then our functions and stuff take place on Friday. And our concert, our thank you party, and is Saturday night. If you go to outsideourbubble.com, there is a button, and there's a menu option in the top right-hand corner for Uberfest. You can get all the information right there, including the schedule of events. We have over 115 RVs signed up already to attend. We don't do this for a living. There's no charge except to bring firewood to Uberfest. And because we need firewood, obviously, to sit around at night.
Yeah, it is out in the middle of the desert, so it gets chilly at night.
So the only thing we do ask is if you come, please bring firewood to help contribute.
This is quite an incline.
Thank you, Mike, for posting that link to Uberfest information. Just to give you an idea, we're hill climbing right now, passing semis. Brenda's speed is 62 miles an hour. This is a 450 ISL engine, and we're 42,000 pounds. And Brenda is able to not only keep...
And towing our Jeep.
And towing our Jeep, yes. So Brenda's not only able to keep up, but she's actually passing semis going up that incline here.
Oh, now I'm back up to 70.
Charles, in regards to dealing with freezing temperatures, yeah, if it's going to be a hard freeze overnight, we would normally put water in our fresh water tanks and bring in our fresh water line off the hose tap so we don't break our water hose. We'll either do that or we'll leave the water dripping in our faucet, because you can't, running water or moving water doesn't freeze. So we'll either do that or disconnect the hose line altogether and bring it in. We usually try to keep ourselves not in situations where we have freezing temperatures for too long. Oh, it's kind of funny, Mark. You just asked that question that I was just talking about, going uphill with our engine. We're currently still hill climbing, and Brenda's back to 70 miles an hour, still hill climbing at this point. Kurt, our tow vehicle is set up exactly what you're talking about, where we use an Air Force One braking system with a Blue Ox tow bar. The tow bar connects to, there's a plate that goes on the front of our Jeep connecting it directly to the frame. So our Jeep is tied in at two different points to the front of the Jeep, one point to the hitch of the motor coach. And then there's an air braking system that ties directly into our coach air, so it's a proportional braking system. So when we brake the motor coach, the Jeep brakes in proportion to the amount of braking we're doing on the motor coach. There's also a breakaway cables, so if our Jeep was to break away from the tow bar, not only will the brakes fully deploy on their own, because there's an air reserve that then kicks in and then locks the air out so it won't come back from the pneumatic brake, and basically we'll brake the car so it'll stop. But also there's tow chains, or tow cables, excuse me, that are connected that will also keep it connected to the back of the coach. The vehicle also is, because we use a Jeep, we drop the transfer case altogether. So the transfer case drops out, and so the Jeep is in full neutral with all free running tires.
Why are they braking in front of me?
Hello, Brian Hubbard from Ohio. They're on their way to South Carolina. Great to see you feeling better again. I see Brenda, the pro driver. I see the pro is driving again, aka Brenda. My co-pilot Beverly says, hello, Brenda.
Hello, Beverly. Brian's I think he's retired now, the police officer.
Ah. Yeah, William, a lot of people do. If they know they're going to be in cold areas, they'll bring a heated hose in. They'll use a heated hose. I never invested in one. We try to stay out of that situation as much as possible, as mentioned. But yeah, if we were in more colder climates that would get down to below freezing constantly or something, we would definitely be using a heated hose so we wouldn't have to deal with it. RJ, right now we are in Arizona, which is our destination state. We're heading to Fort McDowell, Arizona, where we'll stay for the next several months, taking a break and leaving and going to Uberfest in Quartzsite, Arizona. So yeah, if you want to see exactly where we are, go to outsideurbubble.com, which it says right there. There's a forward-looking camera. You can click on camera views, and it'll right below that is a GPS tracker showing you exactly where we are. Max said his age is 30 in the soul, 55 on the chassis. That's funny.
Oh, I love it. That's a good way of putting it.
Kurt, yes, I would 100% do the same towing setup. I would definitely use a proportional braking system, and the Air Force One is the best braking system I have come across. I've used a robotic braking system before, which is one that goes on you set up on the floorboard of your vehicle, and it senses the inertia and applies the brakes. But there's nothing like a proportional braking system like the Air Force One that is to give you proper braking and security. And the Blue Ox is so easy to hook up. We can hook up and break down and unhook our Jeep within 3 minutes. It's definitely the way to go. Yes, live streaming does make the time go by faster for us. Sometimes on our longer drives, we get tiresome of talking, obviously. But live streaming does make the time go by faster, don't you say, Brenda?
Yes, definitely.
Sure does. And we have the technology to do so, so it's kind of cool to be able to do this for some of you all out there who are our followers. And we figured a long time ago, we figured, hey, let's try this. And it worked out quite well. Our first few live streams, we didn't have professional mic packs or anything like we do now. The audio came from the camera, so the audio was really, really bad. If you go back to our first live streams, you'll see how bad it was compared to now.
Well, you didn't have the bonded network between Verizon and AT&T either. That's just recent you did that.
I don't know how to say your name. You're asking about oil consumption in our Cummins. I don't understand oil consumption. Our Cummins engine has 36 quarts of oil. We don't burn oil at all, so we're not consuming oil at all that I know of. At least I haven't seen that we are. And we get oil changes. It doesn't happen very often. It's like every 20,000 miles.
Are they trying to ask us about our fuel mileage and burning fuel?
Well, no, they were asking, I bet you haven't been asked, how's your oil consumption on your Cummins engine? I have not had any burn issues that I'm aware of, or oil consumption per se.
Wow.
Another person from Brazil watching us. I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, Toninho. Sorry. But you know I'm referring to you. What is your floor plan versus what is available from Tiffin now? Our floor plan, Anthony, is a 45LP. They stopped making it in 2015, which in my opinion was a mistake. and I'm hoping they're going to bring back a similar floor plan soon, because I would really like to buy a new motor coach before I have to buy new tires for this one.
Yeah, tires are expensive.
We just really like the 45 LP floor plan. It has a lot more kitchen space than the current floor plans, a lot more countertop space in the bathroom, that's for sure, among any of their floor plans. We just like it. The bed headboard is on the passenger side. The seating area for the dining room tables on the passenger side, where we want them to be. Those are important things to us. Well, in our first vehicle, the towing setup, we got installed at a tow shop that was named Brad's up where we lived at the time. They were a Blue Ox dealer, so you want to find a Blue Ox dealer, and hopefully they also are an installer, and you'll get the tow plate and everything.
A little bit of wind now.
So you want to just, when you're looking for an installer for the tow plate, you want to just find a dealer. Or contact Blue Ox to find a dealer that hopefully does installs in your area, or find a reputable tow shop company. Now I found my Gatorade. You put it in the bucket with the stuff.
Well, I thought you had your coffee before.
I did, yeah. We're going through a cutout here. We might have some breakup from our cellular service as we go through this area here. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but I'm going to try to show you this mountain range to our left, or to our right. If you would bear with me a second, I'm going to switch the audio over to tablet audio, which is a different input. And then I'm going to see if I can show you guys the mountain range. Here we go. We're going this way. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it's just really pretty with the clouds and everything. It's too far away for the camera to pick up, but it is just gorgeous out there. It is just, this is why we love RVing cross country so much. You get to see scenes like this. Of course, now we got all this, we're going through a cutout. That's Brenda's fault, you know. But it's just gorgeous. I'm hoping you can see the mountains out there in the distance. It's just a beautiful, beautiful driving day today. Okay, audio back to where it was.
$77 miles to our fuel stop.
Chris Redman, we have awnings. We only have it on passenger side. We don't have it on both sides. We see no reason to have these big giant awnings on both sides of the rig.
Never had a need.
Never had a need for it, actually. Yeah, we don't sit on the other side of the rig, and I think if we put out the awning out on the other side of our rig, first off, the people on that side would probably be upset with us, and some of the campsites are small; they're not very wide, so we'd be encroaching on. Bill and Michelle, yeah, the Wii Boost, we highly recommend the Wii Boost. I'm glad you got one as a gift. It is one of the best things. I've actually done a video. Bill actually, he must not know us. Must not follow us because he actually said, please give me your honest advice.
Yeah. Well, that's David. He will give you his honest advice whether he likes it or not.
Well, whether that person likes it or not.
Yes.
Oh, you meant if I like a product or don't.
If you like the product or not, yes.
Yeah. I did a couple videos on the Wii Boost system that you can go back and look. Just type in Wii Boost on our YouTube channel, and we've done a number of videos on it. We are a proponent, or is that the right word? We are
advocate.
Advocate, yes, that's it. Wii Boost is an awesome system. Just if you're using a jetpack, like a Verizon jetpack or something, please, when you mount your inside antenna somewhere, it doesn't go very far because it's not allowed to broadcast too far out of the rig. There's all FCC rules about that, so it doesn't transmit very far. But so make sure you put your antenna in a place that you can mount your jetpack right next to the antenna, directly next to it, because that's going to give you your best boost performance if you have your jetpack directly next to or even on top of the antenna. So yeah, we really do like it. Robert, no, we didn't do a video on our tow and our braking package.
Oh, there's so many different kinds out there, and
yeah,
everybody has a different setup.
No, not everybody, but yeah,
Well,
there's a many different setups and many different people. It's, put it this way, the system that we use is not inexpensive, and there's a reason it's not inexpensive, because it's a good system. And it also requires you to do a setup on your coach itself. You have to tie into the braking system, the air brakes of the coach, and a lot of people are leery of doing that. I actually did it myself on this coach. I put the braking system in myself. I have no problems doing that whatsoever because it is DOT approved. So I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. No, but we never did a video on it or anything. Dean, I'm not sure what the weight limit is of our actual storage area. We do know the weight limit of our coach, obviously, but in a storage area, it is built quite well. I mean, metal structure and everything down there. I'm sure if you needed to put an auxiliary water tank down there, you probably could. I would definitely ask if that's something you need to do for some reason. I would definitely ask the motorhome manufacturer about that. If you're going to need to do that for some reason at all, I would definitely check on that with the motorhome manufacturer, and I would try to center that weight probably, to disperse it correctly. And then they may or may not, say it needs to be reinforced or something depending on the area. Because I will tell you that where our water tanks are, our gray tanks, I do believe they're structurally, if I recall looking underneath the motor coach, there is different metal structure underneath the coach in that area.
Yeah, I do believe you're right.
It's a good question, though. That's a very good question. I haven't been asked that one. Just remember, guys, everything that we say or talk about is in our humble opinion. We can only give you information that, from our experience and what have you. If we don't know something, we'll tell you we don't know it. So we just do this to help others. We don't do this for a living. There's no reason for us to do this other than we just want to be helpful, and we can. So everything is in our humble opinion.
Going to be getting into Tucson here, which is a big city. So we're going to get into a lot more traffic.
Just so you know, Brian said Beverly said that Brenda agrees with him that Brenda is the pro driver because Beverly is the pro driver and their coach.
So I'm the pro driver and the pro navigator, because I'm going to add that one because
Yes,
David
you
is
are.
not good at
I
navigating.
suck at navigating. I truly, truly suck at navigating.
So whenever I get behind the wheel, I make sure I know where I'm going, which I do.
Yes, Mac, quality isn't cheap ever. That's correct. He says, same for the coffee machine.
Yes.
Yes. Our coffee machine was like $1,000.
Refurbished.
Yeah. Even our pressure washer, but our pressure washer is a Kranzel pressure washer. A Kranzel is a German-built pressure washer. It's 1600 psi electric pressure washer. The thing weighs 55 pounds.
Small though.
But it's very small. Yeah, it's small and it weighs 55 pounds. But it was $800, $800 US. But it is a great machine.
And it's quiet.
Yeah, I actually built it into the cargo bay of our motor coach. And when I am using it outside, Brenda can't even tell it's running. Yes, Red Jaguar. When we get to where we're going to
Eagle View.
Yeah, Eagle View. Andrew is eagerly awaiting us,
Yes.
so he can detail our motor coach.
Get all this dirt off.
Yeah,
When you're out here in the desert, it rains dirt.
Yes. So Andrew will be washing the coach and then waxing the coach and getting it in top looking shape, as he always does when we go west.
Yeah, it's time to get it waxed again, that's
Yep.
for sure.
Bob Keffy says, the wrap that Brenda made for lunch on a recent drive looks so good I started making wraps myself. Enjoying one now. Bob Fox says, you just passed my exit. Well, Bob, why weren't you out here holding a sign? Hello, outside our bubble. Temperature currently is, well, if this is updated, let's see, let's wait for the phone to update and I'll see if I get
We're in the Tucson city limits, so.
Yeah, we're out in Tucson, 51 degrees. So it really hasn't changed much. William, in regards to any thoughts on the aftermarket HWH Active Air, I can't really speak for the aftermarket version of it. Ours came installed on this coach, so we do have active air stabilization on this motor coach, which came with it. So I really can't speak of an aftermarket system. I would have to think it does a good job. Air suspension systems and air ride that level the coach as you're driving and stuff. I'm glad I have one,
Yes.
and I would have to think that the aftermarket one would be good. It should be as good as the one that comes installed on our motor coach. But I've never talked to anybody who's put the aftermarket one on, so I can't speak for that. But I would have to imagine it would be just fine. Yeah, Mike, Eagle View is a really nice park. We've been going there for a number of years now. It's a very well maintained park. It's not cheap, but it's a very well maintained park.
Well, it's just as expensive as the other parks in the area.
Well, that's true. That's true. I shouldn't have
It's a very
said that.
popular winter area.
Destination, yeah.
But the difference with Eagle View is you're actually on an Indian reservation, so you feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere, but you're 5 minutes to the grocery store and the Target and all those places. Whereas if you're staying in more the southeastern part of the Phoenix area, where Mesa and all those other areas are, those RV parks can get crowded, and the traffic out there is noisy and crowding, and oh, no, not my idea of fun. I'd rather stay out of all the traffic and the crowds and be where we are.
Hey Rob, if you're just saying your Rocky Rest Stop reminds me of Joshua Tree National Park, you must be really behind in the video. We're way past that. You might want to refresh your page and see current stuff.
Oh, as far as, yeah.
Yeah, you might be really behind in the video, which means actually I'm talking to him and he wouldn't know I'm talking to him. So that doesn't help any.
Well, I thought you were talking about Joshua Tree, but that's in California.
Yeah, well, he says it reminds him of that.
Yeah.
When you were considering the purchase of your motorhome between Newmar and Tiffin, what did you think of Newmar's insulation in the walls versus Tiffin? About the same. Neither here or there. Temperature-wise, I wouldn't think. Acoustically, I didn't see anything majorly different acoustically either. So that would not have played a role one way or the other in the purchase of the coach, Anthony. It came down to Tiffin and Newmar, as you know, and just Tiffin just had the better floor plan for us.
Yeah, that's the key with everything, is the floor plan, because how we live is not necessarily how you're going to live in your coach, so a different floor plan might be better for you.
Thank you, Brother Love. He says you guys are the best at telling things as they really are. Thanks for that. Well, we don't know any of you people. There's no reason to lie. I mean, we're not trying to prove anything.
And the things we do talk about and blog about are things that we buy because we have a need for it. And then David's like, hey, let's do a blog post on this. Other people might be interested.
Yeah.
We don't do it just to do it.
We do it for fun. Gives us something to do. Let me tell you, some of those videos, there's a lot of time put into some of those videos.
And this passes the time.
Doing it live like this passes time. Yeah, that's true.
Getting into some construction up here. The outskirts of Tucson. Trucks over 22 feet wide have to exit. 22 feet wide.
Jeez, wide. Wow.
It'd be definitely wide loads. Okay, Mr. Motorcycles. Whoa.
Wow. That was not good.
No, he's going a little fast for this area. David's working on email now, so feel free to chat amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I'm sure you are. Well, the Pima Air and Space Museum that's coming up at this exit, that's a really interesting museum if you find yourself in the Tucson area. We've been there, done that, but they have a really neat display of old airplanes. It's an airplane graveyard. Tour to take.
Margaret asks, Margaret Key Clark, but then they say for some reason Kathy and Jim Dover, Florida. So I'm kind of confused on that. But in any case, David and Brenda, do you go west for the weather or do you go there for business and courtside? We go west for the weather.
Yes.
We're semi-retired, so we're what you call FIRE. It's an acronym, FIRE, for financially independent, retired early. So we're semi-retired. We still work, but so we go
But
west.
it's all online.
It's all online. So as long as we have internet, we can work from anywhere. So we go west and south and west for the winter, just for the weather.
Yeah, we're originally from upstate New York, and that's where we have our seasonal site. So once that campground closes, we certainly don't want to be in the snow and the cold, so we head southwest.
Yes, Bob, we do flash our lights to let semis know they can move when passing us back over.
Yes.
The steering wheel actually has headlight flashers built into it and marker light flashers, so if somebody flashes their lights for us to move over, we can thank them with our marker light flashers.
I'm just over in this lane so I don't block any oncoming traffic with these on and off ramps.
Augusto, if Winnebago, knowing the history that we've had with Winnebago, if they had a floor plan we'd like better, would we consider them again? Probably not. That's just because they as a company, we can't ever undo. They can't ever, for us, they can't undo what. I mean, they never even apologized. So as a company goes, we can't support or consider a company that would treat a possible consumer in such a way. That just made zero sense. And I know they're under new management. I know the CEO was fired and everything, or excuse me, let me take that back. Stepped down, resigned, whatever. Okay. But it just, I don't know.
There's a Waffle House over there, love.
Oh, shush. It would take more for us to choose a Winnebago than it would another motor coach, I think.
The short answer is they don't have the customer service that we would be looking for.
I mean, that was many years ago. Well, that was 2013 and this all happened. That was 5 years ago. So I'm sure they've made some adjustments. And they do have some nice looking coaches.
There's like a carnival or something going on over there.
But we would rather stick with family owned coach builders like there's, well, Tiffin and Newmar. Because they, they're family owned. They have a big pride in what they do and can stand behind the customers versus stockholders, kind of thing. Somebody just asked the question.
I know.
It was another question. Tom said Winnebago makes he's not sure Winnebago makes a quality product, not like Tiffin or Allegro. Or like Tiffin or Allegro Bus or Newmar.
Costco, do you need anything? No? Okay.
Mac, are the Zephyr Tiffin motorhomes really better than the Allegra ones? In our opinion, no. It's just different level of fluff, if you will, or that's the way I'm going to say it, fluff style or whatever. I don't think they're still built on the same chassis and what have you. So
I think with the Zephyr, you get the bigger engine.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice, I think, in that matter. But we don't really see a need for the bigger engine.
Right. So no, I wouldn't pay the money. In my humble opinion, I wouldn't pay the money between the Zephyr and the Allegra bus.
I'll say it again, they've got some nice bridges out here. Nice murals and everything on them.
Tucson?
This is Tucson,
Yeah,
Arizona.
so we're going through Tucson area right now. This would put the city of Tucson on the passenger side of the coach. Currently, as we travel at about 2 o'clock, viewing point is the city.
There is no go around for Tucson, but it's not too bad. You get right through it. Just pretty much stay in this lane. There's another Waffle House on the left.
I was just looking at that too. I didn't say anything. Jeez. Yeah, so Tucson is there on your right. That's the city of Tucson. So we're getting into obviously more travel congestion going through the city. A lot more population, obviously, a lot more traffic.
And the other side, it'll open up again. This is where in January they have, not only in Quartzsite, they do a big rock and mineral show, but then they also move it here to Tucson for a week or so, and they set up these big giant tents.
Rob, our first coach we had propane in that coach. As far as boondocking in a coach with propane versus an all-electric coach, we find zero issue not having propane. In fact, we prefer not having propane.
Just another fuel source that you have to keep an eye on the levels and make sure you have fuel.
Yeah, and not to mention the furnaces are louder. As Brenda said, that we have to make sure you have propane and top it off, and so that was another thing that you had to deal with getting. So we much prefer an all-electric coach versus having propane on board.
Well, not to mention the big giant propane tank in the basement takes up that much more space.
That's true, and so we now have, because we don't have that tank, we have more cargo space. We're 49 miles to our fuel stop, where we're going to stop for fuel. And we are 128 miles to our destination.
I must say, driving through Tucson is a piece of cake compared to driving through El Paso, Texas. Even being a passenger in El Paso, Texas gets you anxious.
Yeah, really. Dean, do we carry any propane for outdoor grilling? No, I cook on a Komodo Joe at Waffle House. Got one. Yes.
Very good, dear.
Thank you. I use a Komodo grill, like a green egg. But we use what's called the brand name is Komodo Joe. It's an all ceramic grill, and so we cook at extremely high temperatures. Like we cook steak, we sear steak at 700 degrees. So the darn thing weighs 65 pounds, though.
Yeah.
I have a small version of it, and then back in Byron, where we stay for the summer, I have the regular size one that stays there that we cook on. So no, we don't carry any propane on board. I don't know if we're going by Benson, Arizona.
We already did.
Oh, we already did.
That was like an hour ago. Yeah, we went through Wilcox and Benson and all of that.
Yeah, Komodo Joe is all natural charcoal.
Mr. Motorcycle scooping around me like that. I'm moving over because the left lane is going to be merging over. As soon as I turned my signal on, that motorcycle scooted around me.
Is there a minimum solar power output required for all electric boondocking? No, not really.
You don't even have to have solar.
There's no requirement to have solar. You have a generator on board.
And your batteries.
And your battery bank. I have 900 amp hours of battery bank. So we do pretty good on our batteries when needed, but we hardly dry camp. The only time we really dry camp is when we overnight in a parking lot somewhere when we're traveling, or when we go to Quartzsite, Arizona, for the Quartzsite show and now Uberfest. That's the only time we really dry camp. For the rest of the time, we're plugged in.
And we're usually only out at Quartzsite for a week, if that.
Yeah, Dean, that's a great grill, by the way, because it's just like the green egg, but the green egg is much more pricier than the Komodo Joe. And the Komodo Joe comes with everything you need to get started right off the bat if you want to cook. I love cooking on a ceramic grill. It is.
Oh yeah.
It is the food cooking over natural charcoal is awesome.
And you can control the temperatures to the point where you can bake like an oven. You can bake a pie in there if you want, and casseroles and stuff, all sorts of things.
Since we can cook at a high temperature, we also flash cook pizzas. So we do fresh dough pizza and make 12-inch pizzas, put them in there and flash cook them in 4 minutes.
And then you slow cook. We do ribs for 5 hours. David will do a brisket for like 12 hours. And it keeps the temperature perfect. So slow smoking, high heat flash cooking. Now I'm hungry. 43 miles to the fuel stop.
Yeah, we've had a few issues in traveling. We had a fuel gauge problem. That was one, as you mentioned. We've had a stuck open high pressure relief valve on our engine, which had to be serviced. We had in the beginning of the coach, we had our ERG valves malfunctioning, so those had to be serviced. But those were before we did live streams and stuff. But for the most part, this engine's been pretty good.
Well, the fuel thing actually was just last year on
Yep.
our way out this way. Because I remember David had fixed it in at Eagleview. And then we actually didn't stop to fill up fuel because he needed to have the fuel low in the tank to get the valve out.
Yeah. John, those grills, ceramic grills in general aren't cheap. You'll just have to do a search, Komodo Joe. And you can buy them at Costco now, for example, and they have really good pricing at Costco.
Yeah.
So we're still passing through the Tucson area. That's why traffic is more congested. Brenda is piloting our coach.
And construction.
Well, you're currently riding along with David and Brenda from outside our bubble. You're riding along in a Tiffin Allegro bus, model 45 LP. We are 42,000 pounds as loaded for travel. We are pulling a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee behind us with another 5,400 pounds of weight, making our total length 64 feet long. And we're approximately 13 feet tall, and we average 7.5 miles to the gallon.
So I'm doing really good today. I'm up to 7.8.
Nice. We're currently going through the Tucson area, Tucson, Arizona, on I-10 westbound, with our final destination today of Fort McDowell, Arizona, at Eagleview RV Resort, which we'll be staying at for a couple months.
I'm not going to pass the semi because I see the sign that we're going to be moving back over again.
Okay.
And those lanes are generally pretty narrow.
The shift lanes, yeah. Yeah, going through construction areas and stuff, especially like this where they're going to bring us back over to the other side of the road. And sometimes the lanes get wonky. And you don't want to be next to a semi-trailer when you do that. If you try not to, because you could see the pitch in the road as we just crossing the area. And that sometimes, you know, people cross lanes and stuff with the larger rigs. So Brenda did the right thing, and she decided to stay back behind the semi as she was coming into that area.
Well, I was still going the speed limit, wasn't holding anybody up. But going through a construction zone, I'm going to go through it how I'm comfortable going through it. And if I hold people up, if it's safer that way for me and my big rig, I'm going to do that.
Bob, yes, you're correct. Picacho Peak State Park is coming up, and
that's one of our favorites.
That is one of our favorite parks to stay at. We usually stop there, either coming or going this direction, usually, because, in fact, there it is. Well, we can see it. You can't.
It's way in the distance.
It's way in the distance. It's very recognizable. It's way in the distance.
It looks like a saddle.
Yep, looks like a saddle. We've climbed up there too. We've hiked that.
Yes, we have.
It's a very distinct looking mountain.
And the state park has 50 amp big rig sites, so it's very easy to stay at.
Yeah, you guys won't be able to see it on the camera for a while because of the haze in the air and stuff. And not to mention everything's smaller on the camera. Yeah, they used to have this petting zoo area with an ostrich farm and goats and exotic birds.
I think they still do. Oh, there's an outlet center.
Yeah, last time when we left Uberfest, we stopped. That's where we stopped. We left Uberfest with our tanks and everything, and we literally forgot that there wasn't.
Well, that was my fault. I knew it wasn't full hookup. We knew we'd have to dump our tanks, but I really thought there was water at the sites, water and electric, and there wasn't. It was just electric.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't going to bring it up, dear. So what happened is we stopped.
I fully admit it.
We stopped at the dump station and dumped the tanks and everything, and then we went up, proceeded to our site and backed up, and then Brenda goes, "Uh-oh." I said, "What's up?" "There's no water at the site."
There's no water spigot.
So we had to pull the coach back out, go back to the dump station area where they had the freshwater intake, take on fresh water, and then go back to our site. Oops. I literally thought there was water there too, so.
Well, you know, it happens. Funny thing is we've stayed there for so many times that you'd think it would be burned into our memory.
Bye, Mac.
Bye, Mac.
Sheet Music says, "How much do you pay for full hookup campsites? Do you make use of any of the clubs?"
That's really going to vary based on where you are. Location, location, location for that answer.
Yeah, that prices greatly vary depending on where you are, how long are you staying, because that day prices are day prices are more than weekly prices. Weekly prices are more than monthly prices when you break it down per day. But as far as the clubs, I think you're referring to like escapees and different clubs you can join for discounts. Yes, we do. We are members of escapees. We are. What else are we? I think that's it though. No, we're not Good Sam members anymore, are we?
We're Good Sam members because we have to be because of the Flying J discount
Oh,
card.
yeah.
Because they're tied together.
Yes. So we're Good Sam members and
We've
we're
been
Skippy
FMCA members, but I don't think we renewed this last time. Probably should though.
Margaret, our ETA is to our final destination right now is 2:09 p.m., but we're going to be stopping for fuel. And 2:09 p.m., that would be mountain time, by the way. So an hour and 35 minutes from now is our destination. But we are stopping for fuel before then.
Our fuel stop is 32 miles away.
Hi, Colleen. Bye, John.
I don't know if you can see, but on the left, those fields out there, that's all cotton. Getting into cotton country now.
Head northwest on I-10 West.
That's weird. Okay. We're looking forward to getting to Eagle View. once you get there and you're set up and we know we're not going anywhere for a while, it's just so relaxing. What is it?
The GPS just told me there's lateral wind ahead.
So we got a wind warning coming up.
And 0.8 miles, it says.
So we're looking forward to getting there. Been traveling a little bit now, and we like getting there because really
It's a nice area.
It's a nice area, nice place. We love the restaurants out there. When we eat restaurants, we don't eat at
Chain restaurants.
yeah. We always go to mom and pop places and
Yeah.
local places just to get, because it's just, you get a taste for the area and what have you. Especially if it's a cultural diverse area. And if you go to chain restaurants, yeah, you know what you're gonna get, but that's exactly it. You don't get to, you know what you're gonna get. You don't get the taste of the area. You don't get the mom and pop cooking.
An Applebee's in New York is going to be the same as an Applebee's in Arizona. And that to us just is not fun.
Colleen, the 360 camera takes way too much data to do this with. Yeah, we're going to be staying at Eagle View RV Resort. Probably right now we've been talking. Looks like until the end of February, possibly. That's what we're currently. But we'll leave there and we'll go to Uberfest and then we'll come back. That's at least that's our plan right now. That can always change.
That's right. You make your plans in Jell-O.
Joe, you asked what our voltage is in our battery bank. We have 900 amp hours. Yes, it's a 12-volt system. They're 6-volt battery packs, and there's 6 of them, and we have 900 amp hours with those all tied together. They're AGM batteries also. They're not water-based. We have 280-watt solar panels on the roof. If I had to do over again, I wouldn't. I'd have one solar panel. I added the second one. I had it added during the build. I wouldn't do that again because we don't dry camp enough to have that extra cost needed. It doesn't do enough for us, in other words. So we're finally out of the dense Tucson area, and now the roads are going to open up again. You might be able to see, maybe not. Nope, not yet. Not in the camera. I got it.
Picacho Peak.
Brenda's trying to get to the pretzels. Helping her out here.
Peanut butter pretzels.
Okay. Yeah, you probably can't see Picacho Peak at this point in the distance. It's still too small on the camera.
You will see it. We'll be going right by it.
Yep, when we end up going by, it'll be on the left-hand side of the vehicle, driver's side. Hey, Colleen, I haven't really flown my drone a lot lately at all. It's gotten to the point where people seem to be annoyed by drones, so it kind of took the fun out of it. So I really haven't flown anything interesting lately, and I should though. I should fly some more. But we're looking forward to relaxing. Just kind of chilling out, going out to dinner, going to listen to some good music.
Yeah. out, we're getting little tiny sprinkles on the windshield.
You can just start to see Picacho Peak on the left-hand side in the distance, way in the distance. It looks really small. It's the black thing rising up because the clouds are over it right now, so it looks black rising up in the distance.
As I said, the peak looks like a saddle, so that's what you're looking for.
So yep, you should start to see that. It's getting bigger and bigger in the picture there. How long can we power our coach using batteries and the generator on a full tank of fuel? Never really thought about it. Never really thought about it, Vincent. I can probably for a really good amount of time.
You don't take the, the water tanks and stuff into consideration a long time. You could go.
Yeah, a very long time we can go because it all depends on how also you use your also depends on how you use your coach, how much electricity, basically. So if you close things down and don't use your coaches, keep lights off, things like that, you can go longer, obviously. So I would have no idea how long we can go go without electricity. So sorry, wouldn't have an idea. Yeah, Anthony, and our cost of our style of living being plugged in most of the time, lithium batteries would not be cost effective to us at all. You're correct. Colleen, yeah, we have friends that we meet up at Eagle View that we've met over the years, and of course we have a number of Ubies, you guys, followers that actually go there they stop there and to meet up and say hello with us, to say hi.
There's actually Gilbert and Ann who live in the Fountain Hills area.
Oh yeah, Gilbert and Ann. We met them. They're Ubies, they followers, and they came over to meet us.
And they came to Uberfest last year for a couple days.
Yep, they came to Uberfest. Mr. B says, heard you guys talk about the Instant Pot a lot, but how about a video? Never seen one in action. Well, that'd be kind of boring, but if you want to see an Instant Pot in action, you can probably find a lot of videos on YouTube.
There's a lot of videos, oh yes. Pressure Luck Cooking is a good one. A good site for videos and such. There's all sorts of. You'll be overloaded if you Google that.
That's weird. Image is not. There we go. Let's see here.
Only 18 miles to our fuel stop.
18 miles to our fuel stop. Yay.
So we can play the game of how much do you think our fuel will be?
S&S Renke, sorry to hear that you had a tire blowout because the tires were old. As far as the brand of tires we use Michelin on our coach. And what is our current mileage? We have 31,000 miles on our coach. And when would we plan to switch? Well, you don't switch tires on coaches like this. You don't switch tires based on mileage. You switch them based on age. And depending on the tire, it's a 6 or 7 year mark because the tires will actually wear from the inside out. So,
and we're not talking the age of your motor coach, we're talking the age of the actual tire itself.
yeah, so you want to look at the tire stamp, the age stamp on the tire to figure out when the tire was manufactured and go on that. So yeah, that's how that's done. So on your left-hand side view, that is Picacho Peak coming up, Picacho Peak State Park, just so you're aware.
That was actually one of our very first state parks that we stayed at when we first traveled out west in 2008, 2009 time frame. And it's still one of our favorites.
You guys are going to be high. What's our fuel gauge read?
We are just barely below half a tank.
Just barely below a half a tank of fuel. They're already putting fuel guesses up.
We have a 150 gallon fuel tank. We're just barely under half a tank.
Yeah, Bob. We did a video on our water bay setup. We use our water when it comes into the coach goes through a sediment filter and then through a block carbon filter, then into a water softener, and then it enters the coach. And then for drinking water, we use a water purification system for our drinking water, which is also plumbed to our refrigerator. So I'm going to rotate the camera slightly so you can see Picacho Peak State Park. So I'm going to rotate the camera to the left. That is Picacho Peak State Park right there. There are RVs. You can see the white of the RVs, possibly. It's a very distinctive state park, very distinctive looking mountain.
It's actually an RV park there too.
Yeah, there's an RV park.
Right outside the state park.
Yep. There's an RV park outside the state park, and then there's actually a state park that you can camp in also, which we prefer. So there is Picacho Peak.
They still have the ostrich ranch.
Yeah, they do. Feed the ostriches and stuff. That's what you just saw there in the white building that went by. Now that is the paid campground. That's the
private RV resort.
Private RV place, yeah. Slow internets, of course. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, we're only as good as our data, guys. So our image might be breaking up because we're out in the middle of nowhere at this point. Maybe you don't have a good service. I'm going to swing the camera back around. There we go. Now we got a front view going on there. So yeah, that was Picacho Peak State Park. And this is the first place we actually saw saguaro cactuses for the first time when we came.
Yes. And they are a lot bigger than you think.
If you're looking to the left, those are the big things that you see sticking up. If you can tell, those are saguaro cactuses, very tall. When we first saw our first one, we thought we were on a movie set because the only time we'd ever seen them before was on television and movies and stuff. It felt like a movie set to us because you didn't really, you don't, unless you've gone west, you don't realize that, wow, these things are real. And of course they're real, but it just felt weird to see them in real life versus on television.
Well, and they tower over.
He's just pulling somebody over. He just
I
got
see
out.
that, though. They tower over the rig.
Flashing lights you see ahead. There was a police officer that just got on the expressway, and it looks like he's got his lights on, and I don't know if he's trying to pull somebody over or if he's going fast. He's trying to go somewhere else. Not sure. I doubt you can't see it in your view. So we're 10 miles to our exit, to our stop for fuel. We're going to be stopping at a Pilot or a Flying J. Do you have a preference? Because you said they're both there.
There's one on each side of the road. So
I would probably
I'm just gonna
yep,
stick with the one
stick
that's
to
on
the one
this
this
side.
side. Makes it easier than having to turn left.
I don't know which one I plugged into the GPS.
Okay. Yes, if whoever gets closest to our fuel price that we put into our motor coach gets a shout out. That's all you get. That's all we can give you. So
That's all we got.
that's all we got. So when we get there, we'll tell you what the price of the fuel is. We'll tell you where our needle reads, which is just currently under a half a tank.
Barely.
Barely under a half a tank, as Brenda says. And we have a 150-gallon tank. And we'll let you know how much the price of fuel is. And then we just play the fuel game, the fuel pricing game.
We always like to top off as best as we can before we park for a while. I still see that cop up there with his lights on. I think he's on the left side of the road now. Yes, he is.
Flashing lights up here, love.
Yeah.
You're okay though. It's way off to the side. So that
I was just moving over because everybody had to move over for that cop on the left.
so we did pull somebody over.
Was pulling someone over, yeah.
road work 1 mile ahead. We are 6 miles to our exit.
Yeah, I was always confused. There's a KOA out here, and I'm always confused as to why, because there's nothing out here.
Now, you guys, in regards to the fuel things, you're putting the guesses up there just so you know. We don't write these down, so you just have to remember what you said, and then we have to figure out after the fact who got the closest number, because I don't scroll back.
Yeah.
So you're better off holding your number until closer to we'd actually do the fuel. It's currently 51 degrees out last time I looked, Kevin. Guys, I'm gonna, just so you know, at this point, I'm gonna put my computer down as we're going through a construction zone, and we're gonna get ready to exit so we can get fuel. So I'm no longer reading messages. Please talk amongst yourselves at this point. And we thank you for traveling with us.
And this time when you go out to do the fuel, you have to remember to mute your microphone.
Yeah, because we got dinged when we went out and they were playing music out there and it was really loud and it went through my microphone, and Google dinged us for a copyright infringement of a song that was playing.
Yeah.
Because it was picked up by my mic.
Look at that. That's all new road they're putting in.
Wow. Jeez.
It's a big project. The sign said January 2018 to October 2019.
That is a huge project.
At least out here they can work on it year round.
Yes.
When you're in New York and stuff, you can't do construction projects like this in the wintertime too easily.
Look at all the trucks left.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wonder why they're doing all this.
Wow, that's a lot of trucks.
I mean, this seems like a major project. It's not like we're in a big metropolis or anything.
I got my gloves out for my diesel fuel. Always a good idea to wear gloves when you're filling up.
Oh yeah.
Because the diesel nozzles, the diesel fuel, it's all oily, and
Oh yeah.
you're going to want to wear gloves, so it's going to get on your hands. And big project, big. Again, I'm not looking at my computer, so I'm not taking chat messages at this point, so please be so kind. You have no give.
Like suck it in.
And our exit's right up here. Brenda will engage her engine brake, which will help her decelerate without having to use the main brake.
Yep.
You don't want to, you try not to use your main brakes so you don't heat them up and what have you.
Take exit 208.
You use the engine brake to help decelerate you. And when you're in areas of stop and go, it'll so you don't have to keep using your brakes and heating them up. The engine brakes are very important when you have something of this size and you're trying to stop it, to slow it down and what have you. It also helps greatly when you're going down hills.
Yes.
So we are going to a pilot. And Brenda's gonna, there's one on each side of the road. I bet you they get more.
I'm gonna pilot myself into the pilot.
To I-10 West.
I bet you they get more traffic
Turn
than that.
left at the
Because
south
just
side.
to,
They would get
yeah.
traffic from the other.
I-10 West.
So everybody, all these things are going to be, our GPSs are going to be yelling at us because they don't know we're stopping here. And then we're going to cross our fingers that we have you can get into a bay, and we go in where the semis go in.
Turn left onto East State Street.
which is right here.
Of course,
It looks
I
like
plugged in the other pipe, the Flying J, in the GPS, so it's.
there is a bay open on this end, love. There's 3 bays open. And let's see. Take the last bay because the guy just pulled out. He's pulling forward, which means we'll be able to get out when we're done filling.
Yep, I see that.
That's great. Yay.
Gotta be really slow and careful pulling into these because of all the trucks going in and out. There's generally lots of potholes. And
Oh, yeah. There's usually lots of potholes.
All right.
Even right here, there's a bump, love, just so you know.
Yeah,
You're going
I
to feel
see
it.
that.
Thump. In the hole, out of the hole. Stop.
Yeah. There's probably no depth on that pump, is there?
Nope. Okay, so we're here.
That's all right. We still have over half a tank of depth.
This is
plenty.
the point where you guys, we look at the fuel price and we let you know what that is. And
And you need to mute your microphone.
well, let's see if there's any
When you go
music
out
out there first. To unlock my door. No music, I'm good. Okay, nice day out here today.
Okay, we are just under half a tank.
Okay, so the fuel price is, let me put, I gotta put my card in because we get a discount. I'll give you let you know the discounted price.
I'm gonna go in the back, love.
Okay, left. Remember, we're just under a quarter of a tank slightly on the gauge itself. We have a 150-gallon tank. And I'm just putting in my control number, my codes, so I can pay at the pump here. And our price for fuel, just so you're aware, is coming up here on the screen. Just gotta wait for it. Get my gloves on now. Okay, so we're paying $3.32 a gallon. $3.32 a gallon. And here we go, starting our fueling. So let the games begin. Who will win? Who will be able to figure out the correct fuel price? We'll soon see as we play Name That Price. Something like that. It's really pretty out here actually for a truck stop. Mountains in the background out there. It's one of the nicer truck stops. That's for sure. Got my gloves on as you can see. And now I'm going to do a walk around the vehicle to make sure everything looks okay. Man, a lot of mud from where we were. Oof. Everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. Tires look good. Tow bar looks good. Slide out solid. All doors still nicely shut. Okay, let's see where we're at right now. We are at 130 gallons. So far 130 gallons, 140, excuse me, take that back. Sorry. We were at 100, we're now going to $150. $150. Yeah, I kind of read, yeah.
I was gonna say, we were only just barely half a tank, so.
Our coach just leveled itself.
I just turned the key so I can engage the fuel gauge.
We've taken on, at this point, 56 gallons of fuel.
Almost at full.
Huh? Okay, 65 gallons of fuel. We're up to $225 and going up. 70 gallons of fuel. $240. 75 gallons of fuel. $250. And we're done. We are at 76.9 gallons of fuel. And the final number is $255.25. $255.25. $3.32. Man, is our coach dirty from the rain the other night on the
76.9.
okay.
It's slow enough. We could have gotten death.
I know. If we would have been in the bay next to us, we could have got death. We're okay though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're between half and three
So
quarters.
just pull up. I'm gonna go back here real quick. I'm gonna turn off my mic, guys. Gotta go to the bathroom.
Hang on, love. Really? This guy's going backwards through. Oh, he's going to back up into a spot. Guess I'm not going anywhere. Peanut butter cup is good. Okay.
So, let's take a
Head north towards South Sunshine Boulevard.
You need to plug in your numbers in your.
I don't want to save that. Yeah.
And we need to figure out which side the exit's on. That trucker's going that way.
It looks like it's going to be
I
that
think
way.
it's that one.
Well, let's see. But I don't have Google Maps. I have Google. It's direct.
Can I have my sunglasses, please?
Yes, you may. Okay, hang on a second. Let's take a look at, see, before we leave here, hang on. Let me, what kind of motorhome's behind us?
I can't tell.
Okay, let me see.
Out of the little tiny camera, I can't. That you were looking to see which way the exit was, love.
I'm not.
So
They don't give you overview on this, do they?
yes, they do.
Up here, love. They give it to you on that. How
Am
much
I good
was,
on that side?
it's Brenda wrote it, it's the closest. You guys, anybody,
Oh, is it
255,
Peyton behind us?
25? Anybody, who was the closest? 233.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto South Sunshine Boulevard.
233. Wow,
That's got to be the closest.
that's got to be. I'm looking down here. Yeah, 255.20. That'd be
wow.
Paul Rutherford. He got it. So, hang on one second, Brenda. We got to do this correctly. He was so close. So, Paul Rutherford.
Paul Rutherford.
Thank you. You get the shout out of the day because you got the closest to the fuel price. Whoop, whoop. Good to go, Paul. That's all you got. That's all we got for you.
That's it.
That's it.
Hope it was good for you.
Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, it doesn't get any better than that, guys. Okay, so Brenda's still driving, as you saw. Wow, this is tight.
Yes, it
Very tight exit, looks like. Okay, just so you guys are aware, we are 1 hour and 12 minutes, which is 79 miles
Are we
to our
locked in
destination.
our door?
Our door is locked, yes. I'm just going to do the step cover.
Turn left on East Frontier Street.
Don't know if you guys can see that big giant hole, which I have no choice but to go over.
So she
Clunk.
clunk,
There it is.
clunk.
Remember, you got
Take
back
the next
tires
left
too.
on
You got
South
back
Sunshine
tires.
Boulevard.
Nobody this way, clear. Go slow.
But I'm not gonna go fast because I got a tow vehicle too. That's got to go over it.
Ugh.
There we go. All right.
There we
In
go.
1,000 feet, turn right onto the I-10 West ramp to Phoenix.
Back on the road. There was a Phaeton behind us, by the way.
Oh, was it? Did they know who we were?
I don't know.
Did they come
I
running
couldn't
out?
see it in my rear view camera, but I saw them in my mirror when I left.
Did they come running out saying, "Hey, we know you. We're followers of yours"?
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't do that.
They just were fueling up. All right. Westbound.
Turn right onto the I-10 West ramp.
Stereo.
GPS and the phone both go in stereo. That is funny. Okay.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-10 West.
And we're off.
Everybody's congratulating Paul.
That was the closest I think
Wow,
we've
that
ever
was
had.
that was pretty amazing. It's all guessing. He was off by 5 cents.
I'll give him that 5 cents, man.
Continue on I-10 West for 47 miles. Continue on I-10.
Okay.
So Paul, we forgot to mention that also who was closest gets to pay the bill.
Yeah. So send us your address. 78 miles to our final destination.
Thanks, Pete. Merry Christmas. Hey, Peter. Good afternoon to you. Different than Pete. Yeah, our fuel gauge does pretty well on accuracy.
Yes.
Just a reminder, we're only as... Oh, perfect timing. Just a reminder, we're only as good as our data allows us to be, so if we drop connection or get slow, we're only as good as our data, everything we possibly could at this point, to bring these live drives to you. So we hope they work out well. Well, we took on 76.9 gallons of fuel this time to fill it up. It's a 150 gallon tank. We like to top off our fuel as close as we can to where we're going, and we only have 70 odd miles
76 miles.
to our destination, and that actually is the closest Flying J or Pilot, which is the fuel stops we normally use because we get such good discounts at fuel prices.
There is
Right now, Bob, we're going over Verizon.
There is a fuel stop right on the corner, right before the RV park. That's on the Indian reservation, but they are super expensive.
Yeah, it's literally right on the corner, but
And
fuel,
you can get a big rig in there, but
and you can't pay at the pump. You have to go inside to pay.
yes.
It's like, really?
Oh, and the diesel is only on that one pump.
Yeah.
So if somebody's pumping up, then you've got to sit there and wait. So there's some negatives to stopping there.
Paul says that they're only 4 hours from Southwoods, and so they're going to come out in July.
Oh, nice. I know we've had a few people, like Red Jaguar came in and a few other people came in for a camp jam from Pennsylvania and all over.
Rob, I'm not sure if they've gotten that yet. Departure lane. Well, we have lane departure. Yes, in our coach now, 2014, we do have lane departure. It's called Mobileye. We have lane departure, and also what we have is cruise control disconnect. So when we get too close to a vehicle and we have our cruise control on, it will disengage the cruise control. That reminds me, do you have your engine brake off?
Yes.
Okay. If your engine brake is on also, it would also auto-engage the engine brake to slow you down when you got too close. So that's why I just asked Brenda if it was off.
I think that's a semi in front over there with a big septic tank in the back. I think that's what that is.
In front of us?
Yeah.
It's a semi.
Looks like a septic tank or some kind of tank. Big, whatever it is.
How many miles do we get? That depends on the wind conditions and road conditions of what we're going through, but we average 7.5 miles per gallon. Pete Hall asked. So we average 7.5.
Yeah. We're a big giant box going down the road, so we're not very aerodynamic.
No. We're also 42,000 pounds, pulling 5,400 pounds behind us. I wish to thank Brenda for being our pilot today.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Because I haven't been feeling the greatest. I'm okay. No, there's nothing wrong. Brenda said that she wanted to drive, and just so I can relax,
And talk to all of you.
I really appreciate that. That they were only able to send the codes to disengage, not adjust.
Yeah, our Jeep does that. It's really nice.
Pete Mullen says, "Go, Brenda," and Pete Smith says, "Thanks, Brenda. You're doing a great job. It looks good from here."
Why, thank you. No pressure.
Brenda does.
It's all good.
Brenda's a good driver. She's a good everything.
Yeah, if you do need to bypass Phoenix, if you exit here and you go on I-8 west, that's actually a decent bypass of Phoenix, but we're not doing that because we need to go to Phoenix.
Charles, that's a good question. Why do we prefer to drive in the center lane versus the right-hand lane? Because of what you see coming up right now, entrance ramps. There are a number of cars that are going to try to get on the entrance ramps, and we're 64 feet long. We are in the way of these cars, so we need to navigate, slow down to let them in, or speed up to try to allow cars to get on. Now, because of this, a perfect example, perfect timing for the question, we are now down to 51 miles per hour because of this.
Because I could not move
Because
over.
we couldn't move over to get out of the way. So we'll always drive in the center-hand lane so we don't have to deal with oncoming traffic.
Because now, getting back up to speed, I'm just burning that much more fuel versus just staying, in my lane and
Yeah, because of those adjustments Brenda needed to make for oncoming traffic is now costing us more in fuel just because she now needs to be able to get the coach back up to speed. So there's a lot more power needed. Another big construction project.
Yes, it is.
Brian, you're not the first one I've heard say that. Just so you, I mean, just saying.
Say what?
He's saying that he had bought a 2018 Integra Cornerstone and he was satisfied with the coach, but after sales service was just horrible.
Yeah. Well, customer service is a big part of being an RVer and the brand.
Robert asks, how often do we use cruise control? All the time. All the time.
Yes.
William Shoemaker, how's the RV snap pads working out? Any issues?
Those worked really well, actually.
Yeah, we actually like them. I like them a lot, especially where we just were. The ground was soft. It was a soft sunk at all. I mean, not at all. But if it was just our pads coming down without the snap pads, we probably would have sank.
Quite a bit.
I'm going to guess about an inch or so into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The Wastemaster sewer hose is an awesome hose. So Brenda finally can get back into that middle lane now, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a lot more comfortable to drive in the middle lane, that's for sure. Don't have to worry about oncoming traffic or what have you.
And the right-hand lane, you know, everybody's in the right-hand lane, so it gets more wear and tear, and you're going to have rougher roads. Life is smoother in the left-hand lane.
Yes. So here's another perfect example with all this oncoming traffic off this entrance ramp. They're up there a little bit. I don't know if you can see them well or not. But the car in front of us is now braking in the right-hand lane, and we're in the middle. We don't have to deal with any of that. Don't know what this person is doing actually.
I
That
think
car
it's
is.
actually supposed to be their hazard lights on, but only one side is working. It's either that or
Wow.
they're driving with their signal on, but
That was a pretty beat up car.
their car was pretty crushed in the front, so. The car looks really strange in the camera right now, in the rear view camera, because of all the clouds and everything. It's like just covered in clouds.
Oh, yeah. So just about an hour now to our destination, Eagle View RV Resort in Fort McDowell, Arizona.
Going through all the cotton fields out here. kind of like 4 or 5 semis behind me in the center lane also because of all the different on-ramps and stuff. This is all the Casa Grande, Arizona area.
Mike, in regards to DEF, I have no idea how it burns in regards to, how much do we use per 100 gallons. I have no idea how that works, actually. I've never really much considered it or anything like that.
No, we're still above a half a tank. We're between half a tank and 3/4 of a tank, actually, of DEF, so we've got plenty.
Actually, Steve Vance, we have 3 LTE antennas on the roof, 4G antennas on the roof. 2 of them, 1 each goes into each jetpack directly, and then the 3rd one goes into our WeBoost system for amplifying the signal inside the coach. So we use one's for the WeBoost, and then 1 goes into each one of our 2 jetpacks, AT&T and Verizon. Paul, I did not look into any wheel balancers or anything like that. I haven't seen a need for them. Our coach drives smooth as it is. Never really had felt a need to look into wheel balancers.
There is currently light traffic on your route.
Yes, you can use nitrogen in your RV tires to keep constant tire pressure, but if you ever have to change it, you're not going to find it on the road. So we just use air. Finding nitrogen, you really can't find it at truck stops or anything. Well, Steve, I'm glad that we're able to help you prepare for your new coach in January. Congratulations on buying one.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Yep. And getting outside your bubble.
Yeah, there you go.
No, we never really considered purchasing a Super C 45 footer. Just don't, to us, it's a waste of space. All that space up front of the cab is not usable. You can pull a lot more, that's for sure. You can have a lot more weight, but we actually aren't using our weight capacity that we have now, so that's not a concern to us.
In these Class A coaches, we can turn the drive down. You have to step down into the cab.
Does the coach have a name? It's referred to as Solar Storm because the paint that we have on it actually changes colors based on the direction of the sunlight hits it. So thus solar, storm because radiation, I guess, radiation storm, blah, blah, blah. So we call it Solar Storm.
Or I just call it home.
Brenda calls it home. Oh, switched over to a bad road.
Apparently so.
Wow. That was a change. Holy cow.
Hope you weren't drinking in that moment.
I was. So all that noise you hear, the rumbling you hear now probably is the road just the road conditions just changed dramatically.
Rough road.
Rough road. Would like to thank Steve for giving his remarks on the death consumption. Thank you for looking that up, Steve, to help out one of our followers. Just a reminder, we're only as good as our data has. So if we're getting out into some of the farther reaches here, and as such, we may break up in signal. Just a heads up to you that the data, our signal may degrade or even stop.
Yeah.
Gun it.
I'm working on it.
I know.
I can't move over because this guy saw my signal and decided to speed up.
You did the right thing. No, that's.
Thank you very much there, buddy.
Jeez. See, that was a situation where Brenda needed to move over for an oncoming semi, and as soon as she put her signal light on, that car you see right there accelerated to get by her before she moved over.
Which causes an incident sometimes.
So Brenda then had to make the decision of accelerating to get ahead of that semi quicker so he wouldn't lose his momentum having to slow down. These big rigs are much different than driving a car in regards to getting up to speed and maintaining that speed.
Yeah, and I'm going up a slight incline too, which doesn't usually help for big rigs. But it's all good. It worked out.
Peter, our electric floors, they only work on when you're plugged in or if you're on generator. They don't work if you're on battery, so they have no effect on the batteries whatsoever, just because they draw so much power. And they are usually on to some degree in our motor coach. They actually will keep our coach warm without us needing to use our radiant heater, our aqua hot too much in the conditions that we're usually in. So the floors are usually on most of the time, but usually we have to turn them down during the day because they'll warm up the coach in this Arizona sun. So, but they don't run on battery power.
Well, we also have one of those electric fireplaces which throws out a lot of heat also.
Yeah, it's a space heater basically.
I'm just going to stay over here because it's
smoother
ride over here. Still rough, but smoother.
Smoother on the right-hand lane, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Life is smoother in the left-hand lane.
Yeah, and people can go around me if they want to, but it is really rough over there.
We're currently averaging 7.5 miles to the gallon, for those curious. We're 42,000 pounds. We're pulling 5,400 pound Jeep behind us, a Jeep Grand Cherokee. We're 64 feet long total length with the Jeep. Yeah, Brian, you can benefit definitely from that tandem axle drive, especially with what you're pulling. Wow. But he's mentioning that we're correct, that we lose the front end of the cab and the storage space and stuff.
Yeah.
He's got a Renegade. Renegade's a nice vehicle, by the way. Renegade Icon. They're nice looking. They're just not something for us.
Oh, yeah. Well, and again, that's why we always circle around a floor key is planned for everybody.
He pulls, he needed it because he pulls a 24-foot stacker trailer.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a Jeep Wrangler in it, a golf cart, a Goldwing trike, and a Razor buggy.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. You go, Brian. You go. Come on out to Uberfest. I can use the buggy.
Yeah, we had talked about once getting towing a pickup truck and putting a Razor in the back of the bed of the pickup truck.
Yeah, we actually did. We considered switching from our Jeep to a pickup truck just to put a Razor in the back of the pickup truck.
There's actually somebody at Eagle View that's usually there when we're there and has that set up.
By the way, you're not thinking it. It's actually this way. The bushes are this close to the road.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering, you're seeing the bushes on the left-hand side going by. They literally are that close.
They're overgrown.
They're
that's
overgrown
for sure.
for sure.
I'm gonna see how it is over there now. That's not-
See, so Brenda moved over, and the road is much worse condition on this side of the road. We're
Yeah.
bouncing a lot more, rattling the coach. Every time you drive one of these, it's like going through a 3.0 earthquake. Your house just rattles and stuff, and amazingly, things tend to stay put though.
Yeah.
It does an amazing job.
Velcro is your friend.
That's right, Velcro is your friend. Get back to the other side if you can now.
I will as
This
soon
is-
as these cars decide to pass me.
Again, we move over to the other lane because the right-hand lanes are usually so beat up, and this is the perfect example of that. And I know, like in California, for example, you cannot be in the right-hand lane if you're towing a vehicle.
No.
Excuse me, you cannot be.
Yeah.
You have to be in the right-hand lane when towing anything behind you, which to me makes zero sense because you're an obstruction to oncoming traffic.
Which we had already proven back there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Car.
Yes, there is an eco mode on the engine. It basically all it does is changes the shift points of the transmission. And we've never really noticed a major difference in using it, so it's usually not on. Good question though.
Whew.
No. Yeah, Brian, we've seen those lifts that basically drop to the ground and you can roll right up onto it and bring it up on top of the back of the pickup truck and then still have storage in your bay. We've seen those.
Yeah.
That was what we were thinking about. But we then realized we're not out places enough to be able to use a razor, so we never did it. When we go to Moab, we just rent one.
Yeah.
We really like Moab. So we're currently, how many miles left?
47 miles to our final destination.
So look out, Eagle View, here we come. There's actually people there probably watching us drive right now. They know we're coming. What speed do we travel? We travel around 70 miles per hour. So right now we are traveling at 70. If you're curious, go to on your website. You see there outsideurbubble.com on the screen. Go to outsideurbubble.com. Click on the camera view, and you can see a front camera view, which is online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as we have data, that camera is always there. And below that is a GPS tracker showing you where we are. And if you click on the little icon of our motor coach on the tracker, it'll give you telemetry information, our speed, our direction, our altitude, and what have you. Yeah, we probably would if we slowed down to 55. Probably get better fuel mileage. I'm 100% sure we would.
Right now, look, 8.0.
Brenda's at 8.0 right now. I'm sure we would if we slowed down. We would. But there's we don't need to save the fuel mileage. I don't know how else to say it. It's not a concern of ours. But you are correct. If we slowed down, we would definitely do better. Hey, Kurt, not sure what you mean by that. You might want to try the other lane now. Yeah, Dean, I agree. Should always drive with the flow of traffic. I do tend to agree with that. Somebody beeped at us going by because we were in the left-hand lane. It's not like they couldn't go around us in the right-hand lane, which they did.
No, he was on my butt for a while, and there was nobody in the right-hand lane. He could have gone easily around.
So when he went around us, he wailed on his horn. See, you don't realize, in a car, you don't realize the roads are different. You feel it in a motor coach. You definitely feel that there's a difference in the road conditions in a motor coach versus a car. The car suspension is much different than a motor coach suspension. So they have no idea that we're in that lane because we don't want our house being shook to death.
Well, and the funny thing is, he's traveling in that lane. You know, it's not like he moved over to the right-hand lane and only moved over to the left to pass. He's actually traveling in that lane, so.
Oh, Kurt says I'm always in a happy mood. I'm in some type of mood, that's for sure. We try to be upbeat, that's for sure. Dean then says, are you referring to reefers and joints? No. Actually, pot affects me differently. I don't really like it. I've tried it. I don't really like it. To me, when I smoked, tried it, it gave me what I call time slices, where I can only remember, pieces of time. And when I tried it, one of the times, I actually wrote when I would be lucid, and then I would know, I would know where I was and everything. And then other times I would not know where I was. It was weird. And so during one of the lucid times when I was taking pot, when I was on it, I wrote myself a note. And the next day, when I woke up, I asked Brenda, I said, did I write myself a note? She goes, yep, here it is. And on the note it read, I do not like this feeling. And then I had signed the note with my signature, so I knew it was me. So I wrote myself a note when I was on pot that I didn't like being on pot.
It affects everybody differently, that's for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, so no. I don't put anybody down for using it. It's a choice everybody has to make. Brian said, back in my cop days when I was on the highway, people would not pass me no matter how slow I went. You're so correct, Brian. You are so correct. Bob says the difference in road quality is apparent in our audio. Yeah, Brenda just moved over. You could probably hear the difference in the audio.
Yeah.
That's our point. And
being in a car, you wouldn't really have much of a difference.
Yeah, you really wouldn't feel it much. But in a coach, you surely do. And
And 6.5 miles, I'm going to be in Phoenix. We're getting on the outskirts of Phoenix now, but I'm going to be going through some of the south part.
Mr. B, Brenda's driving today. She decided to drive the entire trip today. Thank you very much to my lovely wife, Brenda.
Whoop whoop. Yes, I just whoop whoop myself.
No, actually, coaches don't drive as smooth as a car. And our tire pressure, we run tire pressures based on manufacturer recommendations for the weight of our tire positions. And so our front tires, the max PSI cold is 120. We run them at 115 per manufacturer. And our back tires are set at 85 and 80 per the manufacturer, based on our weight at a 4-point weight.
Sorry, that's what I was going to say. That's why it's very important to weigh your coach so you do have the proper inflation tires. Because you could be driving the same exact identical coach as us, but you could have it loaded differently, and therefore your inflation for your tires would be different than ours.
Mr. B is saying you're the boss, meaning that you're the driver, you're the good, or whatever. Mr. B likes you.
I'm the man. I'm the man.
Brenda's actually, she's something all right. 24 years of marriage.
I'm something all right, thanks, dear.
24 years of marriage. Be 25 July 1st next year. We do not have children. We are now coming into the outskirts of Phoenix. Speed is slowed down to 65 as we approach the outskirts.
I'm going to move over because I've only got 3.5 miles to my exit.
And the road is now improved, also, which is also another plus.
Yes. Not that I prefer to be in this lane with on-ramps coming up, but...
But she will keep her distance from the car in front of us to give us an out.
I will. I want to make sure I'm able to get into this lane for when I merge onto the 202 loop.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to overinflate your tires, that's for sure.
Overinflate and underinflate can cause for blowouts to happen a lot more easily, that's for sure.
That's my mom.
Okay.
Hey, Mom. We're currently driving. It's okay. Are you okay? Okay. Just so you're aware, because we haven't told you, we're 2 hours behind you in time. So it's currently only 1:55 here, just so you know.
We were going to call her tonight.
We were going to call you when we got in tonight, because we're driving, and we only have another
34 miles.
34 miles to go before we arrive, and then we were going to call you tonight after dinner. Okay, we'll call you back later. Okay, Mama. I love you. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, guys, I'm gonna, oh, Steve, yes, there is coach weighing at Uberfest. We have a guy come in that does coach weighing. There is a fee involved in that, but 4-point weighing of the coach we have done, including your tags. Anyways, guys, I'm going to put the computer down, and please talk amongst yourselves so I can help Brenda, right, navigate through here, and because we're in a, because we're in a congested, jeez, that thing talks a lot, because we're in a congested area. And by the way, Brenda is doing 8 miles to the gallon on average since we left the truck stop. And the sign reads, "Drive hammered, get nailed." Okay. Looking good on this side, on this entrance ramp, love, just so you know.
This is where your small mirrors come in handy because you can
In
see
half a mile, use the right lane
the
to take
distance.
exit 161 for Arizona 202 east toward Pecos Road.
She tells you take exit 161, but she doesn't say A or B.
Take exit 161 on the
See?
right
She
to
didn't.
Arizona 202.
She didn't say it either.
East, then keep right.
There's an exit 161 B
Use the
and
right
A.
lane to take exit 161, then keep right at the fork.
You're hearing our dueling GPSs. One's Google Maps and one is Garmin.
Keep right at the fork. Be in the right lane.
Well, alrighty.
Alrighty then. Getting into the area. Yay! We are now 30 miles away to our destination. As we approach Eagle View RV Resort, please return your tray tables to the upright position. As you can see, we're in a much more congested area, a lot more lanes of traffic. Brenda's got to move over because this lane is going to end. You might want to go one more. I don't. How far you got to go? Oh, 3 miles.
Take
Never mind.
exit 50A
Sorry, baby.
on the right to Arizona 101 loop north.
I know where I am.
I know you do.
Look at all that stop traffic on the other
Yeah,
side.
I didn't see what was causing that either. Just so you guys know, I'm not looking at my computer, so I'm not answering questions at this point, as we are in a more congested area, as you can see.
Pretty flowers.
Pretty roadsides in general. Look at the bridges, they're gorgeous.
I know, that's what I said. You know, New York has really ugly, rusted out, gross looking bridges.
I mean, but
and
look at these.
These are nice.
Look at these roadsides. Gorgeous flowers, gorgeous bridges. They really, I hate to say it, spent a lot of money on this, but it sure does look nice.
We're lucky if we get our lawn mowed on the side of the highway.
Yeah, really. In New York.
In 2 miles, take exit 50A for Arizona 101 loop north.
Moving right along. Dum, 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 dum. Well, there's somebody flying up over there. He's probably going to. There's probably an accident up there or
Police
something.
officer, yeah.
It's probably what that backed up traffic's from.
I like it when they put the highway markers in the asphalt.
Yeah.
Arizona 101 loop north.
I wish they did that on all roads. Put the exits on
Yeah.
the road. Brenda did such a good job driving today.
Oh, it's still got 29 miles. I'm not done yet.
I know, but
Things could still happen here.
you did such a good drive. I'm going to give you a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I had one at the truck stop, but I'll take another.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, jeez. I'll wait until you get on the entrance. Or until you get off of this ramp.
Okay.
You do realize the only reason I'm giving you one is because I want one myself.
In half a mile, take exit 50A for Arizona 101 loop north. Take exit 50A on the right to Arizona 101 loop north.
Even the sides of these
I know.
exits are nice.
Just gorgeous. Even the exits. Don't hit the tree.
The tree, yeah, I
Man,
know.
those trees are
You
just,
do need to trim those back a little.
they do. Lots of road work, lots of merging traffic on the left and the right here.
Fun.
Fun. Lots of traffic.
As long as we all stay in our lanes, we'll be
As
fine.
long as I'll stay where we are, we'll be happy.
Continue on Arizona 101 loop.
Whoa. Pardon me, buddy.
Oh my God. Ooh. Oof. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
That, the other car too? Ooh. I thought that truck was going to come all the way over.
I thought so too.
Look at them stack up. Look at these idiots. Oh, man. Sorry if we
That'll
got...
get your heart going.
Yeah, sorry if we got too loud on the mics, guys. And ladies. Wow. Watch it.
What?
No, don't go over. This guy's trying to get over, and he almost went into that truck. I would not move over at this point,
Okay.
unless you have a reason you need to move over.
Well,
If you just want to be in that
not
lane,
necessarily. I just wanted to be in that lane.
you're probably safer right
Because
here.
this over there is the,
That's HOV lane,
yes.
which is fine. But that truck almost hit that other, almost went over into him right when you put your directional on.
Okay.
Yeah, the people don't realize that we can't brake as fast as they can.
Yeah, you get that road rage where they like just skim right in front of you and sorry, I'm going to be going into you if you put your brakes on and you're that close to me. Oh, by the way, I am going the speed limit. And we're braking.
A lot of braking. A lot of braking. Brake. Lots and lots and lots of braking. Welcome to Phoenix. Or, yeah, where are we?
We're in the outskirts of Phoenix.
Yuck.
We're on the southeastern side. Yeah, I think we're just braking because of the merging traffic.
Wow.
People getting over, trying to get off, and then people trying to get on.
Like, I got.
Oh, there's a police officer there.
Oh yeah. But still,
I
look.
think that's just a broken down vehicle, though.
So what gets me is he's way off to the side of the road.
Yeah.
But yet we're getting this bottleneck right here. This makes zero sense. Why are all these cars going so slow on the left-hand side?
Looky-loos. Oh, that is a
Jeez. That is an
fender
accident.
bender.
Yeah. But still, all this traffic slowed to that speed. Nobody in these lanes over here,
Yeah.
the two left lanes, nobody needed to slow down for any reason at all whatsoever.
I got down to 38
Jeez.
in a 65.
Just people wanting to look at instead of looking ahead.
Yep. That's a good way to cause another accident. But we're just gonna stay right here.
Oh, Andrew checked in. He texted me. Andrew is the one who details our motor coach. He says, watching you live, windshield looks really clean, but would be happy to get all the bugs off when you come here in a couple hours. Andrew does a great job on our coach. We highly recommend him. And
Well, it's not just our coach, but he does a great job on everybody's coach.
yeah,
He doesn't give us special treatment.
No, he's a really good detailer, which I'm so pleased I found when we first started coming here. He just really, as far as a detailer goes, he really does pay attention to the details.
Meticulous.
He's meticulous. So he is. Andrew is the owner of A&N Detailing.
A&S.
A&S. I'm so sorry. A&S Detailing, and he is the only person that details our motor coach other than myself and a person in Red Bay who works for Tiffin. Whenever I bring the coach into the Tiffin Service Center, there's a gentleman there who works for Tiffin, and he's actually the only one that works on my motor coach for paint work or whatever.
Yeah.
But Andrew does an awesome job. So if you're out in the Phoenix area or whatever, A&N Detailing.
A&S.
A&S. Jeez, I did it again. A&S Detailing. Got a whole video online and everything of him detailing the coach. This time we have to have something different done because of the age of our roof, the fiberglass roof that we have, the age, we're 4 to 5 years old now. It's starting to streak white. So for the first time. So there's a coating that Andrew says he has that he can wash the roof and everything and then apply this coating that supposedly seals the roof from doing that. I don't know what it is. We'll find out. And hey, maybe we'll have to do a video on that. And but yeah, we're at the coaches at the age now where we're going to get white streaks off the fiberglass roof. And that's not such a great thing on a black coach.
But that happens. It's just
right.
normal wear and tear.
That's normal aging. Still not looking at my computer or anything, guys, so please keep continuing to chat amongst yourselves. We usually like to help each other when we're in congested areas.
Use the right lane to take exit 51A, 51B for Arizona 202 Loop East.
It's always good to have an extra set of eyes on the road.
You're going to need to move over one?
What, love?
Are you going to need to move over?
Yep.
Okay. Get all the
Gotta
traffic.
go slowly in traffic like this when you switch
Ooh, look
lanes.
at that. There's almost another accident.
Because you get people like that who try to scoot around.
And these guys are braking. Heads up. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, brake. Jeez. Oh
That
my
guy
God,
almost hit
that
him. He
guy.
swerved
He
really big.
swerved.
Oh, man.
Oh, and now he's doing it again to somebody else. Oh my gosh.
These people, man.
Wow. You know, that's the
I
other
don't
thing.
like cities.
You see so much more sitting up in a motor coach too.
I
Man.
don't know if you guys could see that because it was a few cars ahead of us, but there was somebody who swerved right in front of somebody else, and that guy had to
Slam his brakes
slam
on.
his brakes on and swerve a little bit.
What exit you got, baby? Because this is 51 east and west. Man, I can't believe that. Brenda had to brake hard.
Yeah, I put my engine brake on.
So 51. Whoa.
Oh,
And
it's
now
crazy
and-
traffic. I would not want to be on a
Use the right
motorcycle.
lane to take exit 51A, 51B for Arizona 202 Loop East. Be in the right lane. Then take the exit to Arizona 202 Loop.
Dueling GPSs.
Use the right lane to take exit 51A, 51B, then keep right at the fork.
Which one is it? 51A, 51B?
Keep right at the fork.
Man, that was some not good driving by those in this section, was it, baby?
Well, for
Good
me,
for
it was
good
fine.
for you. Great driving for you. Not so good driving for other people.
Idiot people.
Idiot people.
Keep
You
right at the fork.
We truly believe driving a motor coach has made us a much better car driver.
Yes.
Continue on Arizona 202 Loop East for 3 miles.
Much better car driver. In fact, I'll go on the record saying much better. How that?
Oh, yeah.
Too much better.
It just makes you more aware.
I mean, yeah, you see so much, and you also understand the semis and the motorhomes that are out on the road, but the semis and stuff, and how they can't brake. And unlike us, we have a rear-facing camera. We can see people directly behind us, unlike a semi who has no idea you're back there.
Yeah.
If you can't see his mirrors, he can't see you. So if he automatically, and you can't see around him. So if he needs to apply his brakes for some unknown reason to you because of something in front of him, you got a good chance that you're going to rear end him because he doesn't even know you're back there.
In 2.5 miles, take exit 13 on the right.
13.
To Arizona 87.
Take exit 13. The way it said it.
Yeah. It's only 17 miles to our final destination.
Eagle View RV Resort.
2 miles, take exit 13 toward Arizona 87 north.
Oh, and I promised you this Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. You got 2 miles. You want it?
Yeah, I can finish it at 2 miles.
Oncoming traffic. She got her peanut butter cup. What exit do they need?
In 1.5
13.
miles, take exit 13.
13. I love that. Take exit
Arizona
13.
87, then take the first left.
Take exit 13. Whoa. That would be bad at getting on somebody's windshield. Piece of plastic flying in the air. Big piece of light plastic like saran wrap stuff. Look at that Mustang. He came over 4 lanes of traffic, not even using a directional.
In half a mile, take exit 13 toward Arizona 87 north.
I will say though, I will be the one backing up the coach and putting it in the spot because Brenda doesn't like backing up in.
No.
Take exit 13 on the right to Arizona 87, then take the first left.
Not
We
that,
all have our strengths and weaknesses, and I am fully admit I am not a good backer-upper.
she doesn't even like backing up the car.
No.
And she's got a camera for that.
Yeah.
But that's fine. She could do it if she needed to. I know that for a fact.
Turn left at the traffic light. In 1,000 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Arizona 87 north.
I could back up into the site if I
Oh,
wanted to,
Brent.
but I would not be what?
So here's why are you in this lane? Showing the example of driving.
Oh, I'm in this lane because the other lane will be very tight for me to make
Yeah.
that left-hand turn.
So when you got a left-hand turn and you got 2 lanes
Use
going
the
left,
2 lanes to
use
turn
the
left onto
use the
Arizona
one that gets you
87
in
north.
the outer edge because it gives you a much better turning radius for your motor coach.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up while you were there and they can see
Continue on
it.
Arizona 87 north for 14 miles.
So you can see that was much that would have been much harder going onto the inside lane for that turn.
Especially if there was traffic on
That
the other
side.
lane.
Yep. And we don't forget we're 64 feet long, so it's not just and the motor coach itself doesn't bend. So so we have to make sure our turning radius is good. So if you have a choice when coming off an exit or something, you have 2 lanes to go in for a left-hand turn. Take the outer edge.
Yes.
Same thing for right. Just harder to do right-hand turns.
Yeah.
Right-hand turns are worse than left-hand turns.
Oh, they're just tighter. Yeah.
Yep. Brake, signal light.
Yep.
So we're on the road now that's going to take us to Eagle View. Our last turn off. how far ahead? 13
We got
miles?
13 miles to our final destination.
So everything is going swimmingly. Selling oranges over there. This is just a straight ahead road. I'm going to grab the computer real quick and take a pop look real quick to see if there's anything. All the messages will fly up. One person said no salt equals pretty bridges. Very true. Osen, if you're still online watching our video, we'll be at Eagle View. We think we'll be there. The plan is until the end of February. If you're still watching the video by the time I read that message. Typhoon said, they're from New York. They're used to, shall we say, a, quote, special brand of traffic there. That is very true.
You know, that's probably why we can drive this so well, because we're from New York too. Not New York City, but still.
I don't know what it would cost to ceramic coat the coach.
I've seen people talking about that on Facebook a lot lately.
Osen said he's still here. You're welcome. I'm glad you're still with us. After all, we only have 11 miles to go, so everybody should be sticking with us at this point, right? You want to see
really,
us?
You've gone this far.
You want to see us pull into Eagle View RV Resort? I can only hope that the data going out is good. Looking at my view, the data is my reception is not bad. And I like the shadow of our motor coach on the road. That kind of looks cool. Anyways, we're getting there. Just a reminder that we do have a forward-looking camera that is online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That camera, you can look at it anytime. There's no audio there, but it is viewable 7 days a week, and you can just look out to see what we see. So that's on our website, outsideourbubble.com. We also ask that if you would be so kind, if you haven't done so yet, please click the thumbs up and give us a thumbs up. That helps us in our Google rankings and everything, and it shows us that you like what we do, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So please, if you would, take the time, give us a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to our channel, please feel free to click subscribe, and then you can click on the little bell icon, and you can be alerted anytime we upload a new video or go live, which we do other things other than live drives, by the way. So feel free to do both of those things. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed. We now have over 15,000 subscribers.
Woohoo!
And we don't really market ourselves at all. We don't do this for a living.
No.
It's just, we just do it for fun, and we do it.
David's a techie, and he said, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I said, really?
Really. Brenda does not like to be on camera, to tell you the truth. She'd rather be behind it. Yeah, Brenda did a great job driving the coach today.
And yes, that was a sign that we just passed that said, look out for wild horses.
Yes, in this area, there are actually wild horses that roam free. And we actually have some, we've seen them where we, at Eagle View, they roam around that area.
Oh, yeah. When I go to the grocery store and stuff, it's just really cool to go around a corner and see horses right there, and you're like, okay. Sometimes you just got to wait for them to cross the road at their own pace.
Yep. We're arriving at a good part of the day. It's 2:23 in the afternoon, so it's a wonderful time. Got a lot of time to set up before sunset and stuff, so that's nice.
Yes. Oh, as I was saying, I could back up into the site at Eagle View because it's pretty wide.
Yes.
I just may not be straight or where you'd want me.
I am a little OCD, if you don't guess that by now. So backing up and being straight and stuff like that on the edge of the curb and what have you is something when I back up Brenda very much looks for, because she knows that, well, let's just say I've been known to move the coach when it's not right after we've set it up.
Okay, and here's the problem with a lot of RV parks, and I think Eagle View is one also, where when you're backing up, okay, and I'm helping you back up, on the driver's side, you're perfectly straight. You're dead on straight. You go to the passenger side, you're crooked.
They didn't put the concrete or the asphalt in straight.
Yeah. So the question really is, which side do you want to be straight on? That's always my question to David, because I know it'll bother him more than it'll bother me.
Robin, we've been to Arizona every year since 2008 that we've been traveling.
Yes.
Typhoon says, I'm from the IRS. I just monitor Dave and Brenda's mileage for auditing purposes. We don't actually claim our gas mileage, even though we could, I guess, because it's too hard to try to split it out from
home office versus recreational. Yeah.
We've talked to our CPA about it a number of times, and it's very, very difficult to split it out unless you're using your RV for business the entire time, which we don't because we live in it.
Yeah, some people do if they have it wrapped or whatever, and they actually are traveling for business. More power to you, but we don't do this for a living, so not worried about it.
Well, we are 5.5 miles away, just so you're aware.
Yeah, and that whole congested part that we went through, that's where a lot of RV parks are. And I don't want to be driving in that day after day after day.
No.
If I have to run to the grocery store or something, no. I don't want to drive in that.
We would much rather be out like this. And we're only 3 miles, is it?
We're only like 3 or 4 miles from the grocery store, from Fountain Hills area. There's all sorts of restaurants.
And it's all expressway.
Yeah. The important thing, we're 2.5 miles from Target.
Brenda likes Target.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
So just to give you for those of you joining us, we just at the end of our live drive here, we've been driving for the last
almost 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
It was just over 4 hours somewhere.
So I'm David.
I'm Brenda.
We're from OutsideOurBubble.com, which is a travel blog which has been around since 2008. We do not do this for a living. We do this just for fun and to help other RVers. And we really appreciate each and every one of our subscribers and followers. You're traveling along. We live full-time in this motor coach. This is a Tiffin 45LP Allegro bus, 2014. It weighs 42,000 pounds loaded for travel. It's 45 feet long. We pull a Jeep Grand Cherokee behind us that is another 5,400 pounds. So our total length is 64 feet, and we're 13 feet tall. Today, we are averaging 7.5 miles to the gallon in our travels. So that brings you up to date at the end of our trip here. And Brenda's got just over 3 miles to where we will be pulling into Eagle View RV Resort.
Mountain Hills, just so you know, is right next to Scottsdale, Arizona. So Scottsdale is like 20 minutes away.
People are wondering if we're going to stay live so they can see us backing into the lot. We usually cut off for that. We've done it a couple of times, and it's not easy to coordinate that at the same time as, you know, trying everything else that you're doing.
Yeah. Too much distraction.
Yeah, so we probably, by the time because we have to go inside and check in and stuff and then drive around and then back in, disconnect the vehicle. It's just a lot of boring time at that point. So we'll probably cut off before we do all that. But if you really want to see, you can go to outsideourbubble.com and you'll have the front camera view, which will always be there for you. So you'll be able to see the front camera view. No audio or anything, but at least it's live and you can see us backing in the coach somehow. I'd hate to bring
Target's
the camera.
up that road, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Target's up that road, yes, dear. I'd hate to bring the camera outside and lose our connection and just drop off, which has happened.
Yeah. We are now in the Fort McDowell, not even going to try and pronounce their Indian name, the Indian reservation area. I think it's Wipoki. I don't know. Something like that. They've got a casino and everything if you're into that. We're not casino people, but it's like half a mile up from the RV park.
And we're 1.5 miles now to our turn into the park.
Yeah.
Do you want to try leaving it broadcasting?
1.25 miles. Keep left to North
No?
Fort McDowell Road.
Okay,
No, I don't
okay.
see a need
First
to.
left.
Okay, babe. And yes, another shout out to Paul who played our filling up our fuel filling game to get who would come with the closest dollar amount. He came within 5 cents of our fueling.
Yeah, I think that was the closest ever for anybody.
So
way to go, Paul. Whoop, whoop.
So yep, way to go to Paul. That was pretty amazing. So
In half a mile, turn right onto North Fort McDowell Road.
So there's the casino and everything on your left.
Keep left to North Fort McDowell Road, then take the first left.
and you can see this is where we live down here. It's all in this nice little
Yeah,
valley
the
area.
GPS is taking us someplace weird. It's taking us to the left.
So
So I'm not going to follow that one.
as you can see, we're out in the open area out here, so it's very quiet. It's very
Turn
nice,
right
not
onto North
congested
Fort
at all.
McDowell Road.
This is the Chevron station
Turn
that's
left at the traffic
super
light.
expensive.
Super, super expensive. You're gonna let them go?
Yeah.
They got a green arrow, so we can let them go to give you an easier turn. And you got these people coming
Well, and I got
across.
these people coming across.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, we're clear for our turn.
Clear.
Clear.
Yeah.
In a
Diesel
quarter
fuel,
mile, turn left.
$3.45.
When possible, make a U-turn.
You can shut that off. It's gonna keep yelling at us.
This
Why don't you
this
cancel?
fuel stop, by the way,
You didn't cancel route.
this fuel stop, by the way, is usually 20 cents higher. So we will bypass that.
They still haven't worked on this road. It's still a bumpy road.
Yeah.
Brenda's moving over because of the pothole.
Pothole.
So Eagle View RV Resort is going to be on your left coming up here.
They just put in some gates, entry and exit gates, so that'll be new for us.
Maybe they're only nighttime gates.
I don't know. We shall
On the
see.
right-hand side is storage. That's all storage on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side is the resort.
They have a big storage area. If you're ever looking for something in the area.
There's already people waving at us coming in.
Minutes left. Then your
That's funny.
destination will be on the right.
We knew people watched us coming in. We have a number of followers here.
Yeah.
So there were some people standing on the side. They were waving. Oh, that's too funny. So here we are. Gates up, so that's good. Wide
In
turn.
600 feet, turn right.
You put in rocks and stuff. That's not good.
Rock.
Rock. Rock. So the gates up. So this is how they're doing that.
That's a tall gate. It could just be a nighttime thing.
Yeah.
They do have security for the casino that comes here and
They drive
drives
around.
around.
Your destination is on the
But
right.
it's a very safe area, though.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Alrighty.
So here we are. Our home in the wintertime normally.
Oh, for a couple months.
Hey, Bren.
Yes.
I can't tell. Never mind. I thought somebody was in our spot. So anyways, this is Eagle View RV Resort. I'm going to spin you around
Somebody's out there trying to get our attention already.
here. Let me turn the camera around so we can say goodbye to y'all. If I can unlock it. There we go. Hi. So in any case, that was our trip. Brenda did all the driving today. Thank you, my dear.
You're welcome.
And we're going to sign off before we go and check in and park this thing. Remember, the camera, the front view is always online 24 hours a day, so you can switch over to outsideourbubble.com and click on the live camera view to see that. There's no audio there, it's just a front view, and you can feel free to check that out anytime. So we're going to go in and end this transmission here, and that'll be about that, huh?
It'll be that.
Yep. Eagle View RV Resort, Fort McDowell, Arizona. I'm David.
I'm Brenda.
We're from outsideourbubble.com, and we're asking you, when's the last time you got outside your bubble? We do it every time we go live. Take care. Keep safe, everyone. Hope to see you. Bye.
Bye.